Rookies comprise 4/5 of that rotation, including 22-year-old Luis Morales, a consensus top 5 prospect in the A's organization.
Welcome to Dugout Radio, the undisputed home of boomtown baseball.
The Wi-Fi is booming with Xfinity, baby. Our next caller is
Stacy. How do you stay locked in on every pitch and play?
We stream it all live on Xfinity Internet with low lag, 99.99% network reliability, and speeds faster than a base runner beating the throw to home plate.
I stream on my TV, tablets, even my smart fridge.
Smart fridge.
With all those games, we gotta refuel.
Stream live baseball with Wi-Fi built for the biggest moments. Xfinity. Restrictions apply. Actual speeds vary, not guaranteed.
People are coming from all over to Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, from Folsom, Elk Grove, Woodland, Roseville, because they've seen for themselves the huge selection and the best prices at SacSuperstore.com. Good luck finding a lower price anywhere else. And if you do, they'll match it. It's as simple as that. Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, where a handshake still means something. Open until 10 o'clock and centrally located right across from Hagen Oaks Golf Course. And online at SacSuperstore.com. The guaranteed lowest price and the best selection of Dodge, Chrysler, Jeeps, and Rams. SacSuperstore.com.
Terra Madre Americas, one of the world's most exciting food events, coming to Northern California for the first time this September 26th through 28th. Dig into good, clean, and fair food for all with chefs Alice Waters, Sean Sherman, and Jeremiah Tower. Hear music from The War on Drugs, Spoon, Big Head Todd and the Monsters, Jade Bird, and Passion Pit Solo Acoustic. Savor the journey of Terra Madre Americas, only in Sacramento. Details on TerraMadreUSA.com. Terra Madre Americas is supported by Sacramento International Airport and brought to you by Slow Food and Visit Sacramento.
Hi, Sacramento. It's the No Surprise guys at Bell Brothers Plumbing. Need a water heater or plumbing repair? Call Bell Brothers. Clogged drain? We'll clear it for $67. Plus a free camera inspection, a $250 value. We're fast, on time, and the price we quote is the price you pay. No surprises. Plus, we'll check your plumbing for free. Call Bell Brothers or book at thenosurpriseguys.com.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
KHD HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sacktown Sports, 1140.
Feeding your passion for local sports in the afternoon. It's the Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Kyle Draper on your radio at 1140 a.m.
Streaming audio at SacktownSports.com and the Sacktown Sports app.
You can also watch the show on YouTube at Sacktown Sports 1140. Here are the Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Kyle Draper.
Drapes is not here today. He told us yesterday he might have to check in today because this is a big day for Kyle Draper. As you remember, was it last week, Jay, where Kyle said, oh, the schedule release, NBA schedule release, he said it's better than Christmas, right?
I think it was this week. Did he say that Tuesday?
Maybe it was. Better than Christmas. He likes it more than Christmas. So Christmas is here. Ho, ho, ho. The NBA schedule is here. And I'm wondering if that's maybe why he will check in. Have you had a chance to look over any of it, Jay? Any of the new schedule?
So I did not look at it on purpose because I said, well, first of all, I'm not like Kyle Draper. I don't live on the road as much as he does, so it's not that big of a day for me. I get it. But I definitely understand how big it is for Kings fans and NBA fans around the circle. So I'm not demeaning it. But I figured I'd like to look at it organically, naturally with Whitey Gleason. Yeah, so I say all that to say, no, I have not looked at it.
Okay. The best response to Kyle saying that schedule release days like Christmas was last Friday when we were at Rancho Murrieta and we had the great Gary Gerald on. By the way, I got an invitation today to play golf with Gary Gerald and Frank LaRosa, and I had to say no because I will be on the road. And it's at Bartley Kavanaugh, one of my favorite courses, and thank you, Frank, for the invite. I'm just not even physically, it's not like, well, I don't know. I won't be here. I'll be driving down to L.A. So anyway.
That may be the first time that I can agree and side with Dub G on passing on golf. You won't be here.
Right.
You got bigger things planned.
Yes.
So no doubt I'm riding with you on that one.
Mr. LaRosa said that is the only excuse I would have accepted. So I think they would have come over and kidnapped me to get me on the course. But anyway, I appreciate that very much. But the point is, last week when we had Gary Gerald on, Drapes brought it up himself. He said, look, do you know where I'm coming from when I say schedule release day is like Christmas? And Gary Gerald, he's been around the block a few times. He said, did he not, Jay? He didn't say, I agree. He said, I understand why you feel that way.
Yes.
It was
very
diplomatic. I get it. You're on the road a lot. He didn't say you're right. He also didn't say you're crazy, but he said, I understand why you feel that way, Kyle. That was very well done.
Yeah, straight shots out. Well, that's a legend. As we talked about throwing around legends, that is a legend, Mr. Gleason.
Yes. That is that's not up for debate. Couple of things about the schedule, Jay.
Okay, can I open it up, Mr. Gleason?
Yes, take a look.
Take a look. Do we have a paper form around here? No, we don't. So I'll just utilize my phone.
Mm-hmm.
No problem.
The Kings are on TV, national TV, 9 times. And thank you for this note. I hadn't seen this, and Jay just sent this along. The way the schedule works out this year, the national schedule, Monday games are on Peacock. Tuesday games are on NBC and Peacock. Wednesday games are on ESPN. Thursday games are on Prime. And then I think down the road, Saturday games are also on ESPN, right? So anyway, keep that in mind. The Kings have 5 games on NBC, 1 game on ESPN, 1 game on Prime, and 2 games on Peacock, Jay. Those NBC games, here's what jumps out about them. You got one on November 11th against Denver. You got one in December on the 30th against the Clippers. NBC March 26th against the Spurs. Excuse me, March 17th against the Spurs. Also March 3rd against the Suns, and Dallas on January 6th. All 5 of those games are 8 o'clock start times, Jay.
8 p.m.?
8 p.m. start times.
Okay. I like it. I like it, though.
Do you? I don't care for it.
You ain't feeling that?
No, I guess, and I heard them talking about this on the Alan Stiles
I'm a
show
night person, man.
Yeah, I know you are, with Kyle Ledbetter. NBC's going to have like a triple header, so it starts at 2 our time.
Okay.
They have a game in between at 5, and then the last game at
8 o'clock. So give it to me one more time. I heard the Suns twice. I heard the Mavs once.
I'll do it in order here.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. On November 11th, that's a Tuesday, and that's here. Kings against the Denver Nuggets.
Okay.
Which, and I know someone was pointed out that that's the first time the Kings will be on NBC. Since they played the Lakers in the playoffs or something way back when. We also have on the 30th of December, that's also a Tuesday, Kings will be in LA against the Clippers. That's an 8 p.m. start.
Okay.
Into January, Tuesday, January the 6th, here, 8 p.m. start at Golden One against the Dallas Mavericks. And then there's 2 of them in March. The 3rd of March, Tuesday against Phoenix, and then the 17th of March, again, a Tuesday, NBC game against the San Antonio Spurs. Both Phoenix and San Antonio games are here at the Golden One Center.
Bring it.
And you like that. You like the later games.
I love the 8 o'clock games. I like the atmosphere of a nighttime situation. You jump out the arena and then you hit the lounge and, have a little good time before you go to the house. Mm-hmm. I like the fact because, we look up here. We get off at 6, or technically the show is in over 6. I'm not done at 6, but it gives me a little time to wiggle on over to the arena and support the ball club. So I'm all about that. And I know some of those games are weekends, but I appreciate the fact of later things because I'm just I'm a nighttime person anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And I like to do things. I like to have fun.
Mm-hmm.
I hate when I'm right up against the time of me having to be there. And I just feel like when I get to the arena, sometime I'm pressured just because of the time I get out of here. So I like the late games. I'm with it.
Yeah, those are Tuesday games on NBC, and they're all at 8. I see here, by the way, December 27th, they're playing Dallas at home on a Saturday, 2 p.m.
That's a little different.
Mm-hmm.
That's a little different.
And according to my schedule, that is not a TV game. So they got a game the next night. Maybe they're playing it earlier.
Get on the road.
Part of a back-to-back.
Yeah.
Kings, by the way, have Brendan and Chris Watkins helped me with this. They have 14 back-to-backs.
Are you kidding me?
That's not that many. It's about middle of the pack. Yeah, the
really?
Kings have 14 back-to-backs.
So I went over before today, before the show, and I'm talking to the fellas, and they're, eyeballing the schedule. And I'm like, I haven't checked the schedule out. And so I'm like, what's the the ups, the downs, give it to me real fast. And like, okay, well, January, I believe they're on the road for the longest trip, and then they're at home, homestand for the longest time as well. 7-11, and then 6-9. So 7-11 at home, and then 6 road games in 9 days. So January seems to be either you're at the house or you're on the road.
Yeah. Yeah, they got 10 home games, I think it's January.
Wow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then, six on the road, 10 at home.
7. Okay. Yeah. I think they have 7 on the road, don't they, in January?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, yeah, 7. Yeah. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, so it's 17 games, 10 at home. But the back-to-backs, the Kings have 14. Here's the teams with more. The 76ers and Nuggets and the Suns and the Hornets, Jay, and the Wizards have 16 back-to-backs.
Man, they set them boys up to lose. The Wizards and the Hornets?
Uh-huh. The Clippers, Raptors, Trailblazers, Pelicans, Warriors, Heat, and Jazz all have 15.
Wow.
And here's an interesting note on the Clippers that I shared with Alan and Kyle. In March, the Clippers have 18 games. That's the most games they've had in any month since Chris Paul was there the first time. And, the Clippers look like an older team later in the year. Who knows if they'll be holding up. In that month of March where they have 18 games, they have 5 games in 7 days twice. They're cooked already, Jay.
I did see that. Yeah.
They're done.
It's over?
I think it is.
They've been on the rotisserie a little too long already.
That's just cruel and unusual punishment
for
an older team.
It is. And Amir Coffey just signed with the Bucks.
Did he? Okay.
Yeah, he signed a 1-year deal with the Bucks here, according to Shams. Yeah, I'm liking that for the Kings. Interests.
Yeah. Also in March, speaking of the Kings, they have 9 home games. So 10 home games in January and 9 in March. National TV games, and I know I'm jumping all over here as we're just, grabbing the bits and pieces of this brand new schedule. Golden State Warriors, the Lakers, the Knicks, and OKC. 34 nationally televised games.
34.
So
it sounds like any game that's on at this point, because we have so many different networks, there's going to be way more national games.
Yeah, you would think, sure.
Because Amazon, NBC is now in the mix.
Mm-hmm.
So, it always just pretty much rotated TNT, ESPN. Then you throw in the ABC games on the weekend after a certain point, Christmas. So now that NBC and Amazon is intertwined, there's just way more real estate. Right. So there's going to be way more national or considered national games.
Yes, as I'm looking here, Jay, I don't see any games, speaking of nationally televised games.
Really?
NBA TV?
No NBA TV games, right?
No.
I didn't see that on anybody's schedule for the most part.
Right.
Yeah, so
it's like rather than having them on our own network, if you're the NBA, we're selling them.
Yeah, NBC and Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
The fewest games, 2 games apiece for Utah, New Orleans, Brooklyn, Washington, and Toronto.
Toronto, Brooklyn, Utah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's a little interesting for Toronto because you would want to, bring down the Canadian flavor. They got a couple of young guns, the Scotty Barnes of the world. That's interesting.
I think the sense I get is with all the money the new partners are spending, it's like play the hits. They would have the Warriors and Lakers every night if they could. Really, if they could, they would have the Warriors and Lakers every night, and they'd have a doubleheader with the Knicks playing OKC.
I've got like 8 schedules thanks to Kyle Ledbetter, so shouts out to him. So I'm looking at 3 different versions of it.
Ooh.
I've got like a list view, then I have the calendar view, and now I've got a printable view. So my boy Kyle doing work.
Mm-hmm. That's what he does.
That's what he does.
Team Simpton here in the YouTube chat. Do you ever wake up in a cold sweat screaming out, "The Kings are mired in limbo"? Just good enough to compete for the play-in, too good to have a shot at any elite talent in the next few drafts? Team Simpton, I think that's it's unfortunate if you're feeling that way, and I understand it, but if you're feeling that way the day the schedule comes out, how's he going to feel when the game starts? Jay, if the team starts losing a few games, I'm worried about Team Simpton. Again, I understand, but, isn't today a day for at least some optimism? A little bit?
I understand where Team Simpton is coming from because this, listen,
I do too.
We got to keep it 1,000 here. We understand that the Kings haven't been at the top of the food chain for a long time. So, any single day, you might, as Team Simpton say, you might just wake up with a cold sweat. Today just so happened to be mired with the NBA schedule release. So I'm not going to hold it against them big time, man. Do you?
No, I say that out of sympathy.
Yeah, of course. Absolutely. You do, of course.
Yeah.
This is I'm looking at it. I said I am naturally, organically. This is my first time looking at the schedule in full, and I did it on purpose. I didn't want to study it. I figured you would come with the notes and the intricacies and everything else. I'm looking at a few pockets that caught my eye, which is very, very interesting. The end of the month of October, and I'll just start with the last week of October leading into, probably the last week into November. So that full entire month, the 25th of October, they have the Lakers. That's a Sunday. Then they play
the 26th.
26th, excuse me.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the
all good.
26th. Now you jump over to the 28th. You got the defending champs. You got Chicago on the road. Now the Lakers are at home back to back. Then you kick over to Milwaukee that Saturday. So you get a couple days off, 3 days to be 2 days off. Then you play on the third day. You go to Milwaukee and Denver on the road. You come home. You take on the Warriors, the Thunder, which is a Emirates Cup game. You play Minnesota, Denver, and then on a back-to-back, a tricky Atlanta team they're going for it because the East is open. Then Minnesota.
Yeah, that stretch, Jay. That is brutal. So at some point here, as you're running down these games, I know it's going to lighten up at some point. Probably the next game is against Charlotte or something, right?
That'd be Minnesota.
Okay.
And then the next game would be the Spurs on the road.
All right. And then at that point, it's got to be like Washington.
That'd be the Thunder again.
Okay.
And then we got maybe a little ease on a back-to-back. On the road, you got Memphis.
Wow.
Man.
And then it settles down.
And 2 nights later, you're on the road again against Jokic in Denver.
Oh, my goodness.
And then 2 nights after that, you play Minnesota. And that's probably when it eases up because then you got Phoenix, Utah, Memphis again, Rockets. Like that is a brutal stretch that month from the 26th to the 24th. And if you want to consider I don't know. I know where you sit, but depending on who's listening, where you sit with the Phoenix Suns, the 26th to the 26th, you play OKC 3 times, Denver 3 times, excuse me. You play the Warriors mixed in there, Minnesota twice. You got the Spurs on the road, Milwaukee on the road. You bring in a pesky Atlanta team.
Yeah, it almost seems like that stretches OKC, Denver, Minnesota. Like it just seems like, and then you start it again and again and again.
That
if
is
you're not
crucial.
careful, Jay, if the Kings aren't careful, they're going to get their Thanksgiving turkey stuffed a little early
very
this
quickly.
Year.
You said the Clippers are cooked. Man, we might be opening filet very quick.
Man,
that first month, that is brutal.
You're right. Yeah, 13 of the first 20 games, and some of the games you just mentioned are in that group. 13 of the first 20 are against teams that made the playoffs last year.
I guess you don't have to go to Denver in the snow. Minnesota probably in the snow. I'm just going over the schedule again for people that's listening. I organically did not look at the schedule today. I just wanted to have my natural reaction. So do we play? I mean, they've got to get the mode out of Denver and Minnesota and OKC out the way already. Can't play them no more.
Yeah. In December, it's at Houston, at Miami, at Indy. Then you got cup games. And you play Portland two games in a row.
Right.
Houston, Detroit, Dallas, Lakers, Clippers. Problem is, all the other teams are getting better while the Kings are just sitting there going, "Oh, we're going to try to make the play-in." So the schedule gets tougher every year, Jay.
Well,
that's the way it seems.
It eases up on the back end, but I'll say this, and this is the tough part. I would have rather liked to ease into this season than look. And I mean, listen, that first month and a half is very, very brutal because you even got the Clippers and the Lakers prior to that month that we just talked about. So on the back end, though, this is where you got to get Pac-Man style. I see in March, you got Phoenix a couple times. You got the Pelicans. You got Chi-Town. You got Indiana, Charlotte twice.
Yeah.
Philadelphia, Utah, Brooklyn twice.
They're on that
March, you got to eat.
Yeah,
I see March, you got to really put in bring up the plate. You got to bring yourself up to the dinner table.
You got Brooklyn twice in March.
Yeah.
And as you said, Charlotte and Brooklyn twice.
Yeah. depending on how Philadelphia is, they could be cooked by March too, depending on injury and Embiid. Chicago's going to be in the middle, probably fighting for a play-in berth. By that time, you may, Phoenix, who knows? I don't really know what to expect from the Pelicans this year. You talked about the Clippers by March. They may be cooked or fighting around. The last month I see we got the Warriors twice in April, huh?
Yeah. Those last 5 games, 1, 2, 3, 4, actually it's 6 games in April. Yeah. Toronto, the Pelicans, and Portland, but then you also got the Clippers and the Warriors twice.
So you start the season with Phoenix and Utah.
Right. You're feeling pretty good about things, Jay. At that point, hopefully. That's another point. You don't want any early stumbles in those games.
Ooh-wee.
Before the roller coaster really takes off.
Well, if nothing else, you get Oklahoma City, Denver out the way, and Minnesota out the way very quickly. So those are 3 difficult teams, 3 teams that's going to be vying for playoff spots, no doubt, defending champs. Maybe they'll have a lull in the beginning and turn it on at the end. I don't know. I'm fingers crossing with that. I would say this, Whitey, just looking at the schedule organically for the first time here on air, I don't like the beginning. I truly don't.
Yeah, and to me that's problematic and troublesome because I don't think this team can overcome a slow start.
I'm with you. And because of what has happened and occurred last year, you don't want that feeling, that same emotion to roll over into this season. I would have rather got off on a hot start. And I'm saying they can't because they can still go out there and ball now. We got to play the games. But on paper, in black and white, as I'm looking at this, in purple and gray, as I'm looking at the schedule and I see the beautiful Sacktown Sports logo down at the bottom right, where you catch every single game this season, of course, with the G-Man, Jason Ross, and HT. It is that first initial setup that's crucial. I'm just hoping they can sneak through that first month and a half. And really, it's the first month. You get the Phoenix and the Utah game out, the first 2, but the very next game, that third game to the 26th of October to the 26th of November, it's crucial.
Yeah.
You got to bring your A game.
I think, Jay, you just raised a very important point. With the new TV packages, you know that for a lot of fans this year, there's going to be a lot of, when's the game on? Where's it on? Where can I find it? And I know watching it's different, but it's always on Sacktown Sports.
Absolutely.
That's one thing you don't have to worry about. Where
100%.
can I hear the game? You can hear it here on Sacktown Sports with the great G-Man.
Yes, absolutely. You know, one day I was going to ask G-Man this, but I was like, man, this ain't the right setting, even though it was low-key. G-Man has been joined by Jason Ross and HT and many other great people around for a long time. I don't ever remember, at least in my time, where G-Man shared the play-by-play duties. It's always been a color analyst or, sidekick like Jay Ross or somebody on the side. Have you ever seen a 2-man play-by-play booth outside of television, like radio?
Well, you mean like an analyst and a play-by-play?
No. So like
play-by-play people?
Yeah, like
no,
you kind of call the game. Yeah. It normally happens as you see some of the play-by-plays get a little older and they assist them as far as, I've seen a few of it. Yeah, definitely. For the Rockets, I remember as Bill was moving on, that was for the Spurs, but for the Rockets at the end, Craig Ackerman kind of started jumping in. There's definitely been a few moves. I've always wondered, is there a point in time for the G-Man to say, you know what? It sounds crazy to say, I'm a little tired right now. Let me kick it on over. And I know you can do that with the color analyst, but as far as with television, and G-Man spoke about it, sometimes you could just sit back and lay out, as they like to say, and let the action speak for you. And you just say, oh, that was a beautiful dunk. Here comes the replay. Where on radio, G-Man said you have to create the visual. G-Man he's not yearning for any assistance. As he said, he's going to do it as long as possible.
Yeah.
But I've always been interested to see because I think G-Man could do anything.
My guess would be, I've never discussed it with him, and obviously he does a great job, and in his mind, that's the job. I think if it ever got to a point in 5 years or whatever where he started to feel like maybe I need someone to help me, he'd probably say, well, I just shouldn't do it anymore.
Do it, yeah.
That's just a guess. I don't know.
We're seeing it a lot where it's like 2-3-man booths and not so much at the same time in baseball. Like the A's have it, right? You have Ken Korak who jumps over, does TV, and then Kerry jumps over. They're sharing the duties. We used to see it with Vince Cotroneo, right? You would see it as we see it with the Giants. Of course, you got Kruk and Kite, but Kite does play-by-play. crew does the analyst, but then Fleming jumps in, right? Then John jumps in. So it's a shared play-by-play space, sometimes not at the same time. I've always wondered, like, well, gee, man, you know what, man, I'm going to sit this quarter out and you rock it. It's interesting.
Yeah, I hadn't thought of that. My guess would be he wouldn't do that, but he certainly is. To your point, if he wanted to, he could. I want to welcome, to the chateau. I haven't seen this person before.
Well, yeah.
Logical Raptors fanatic.
Ooh.
Making some noise.
Okay.
We don't really say anything disparaging about the Raptors yet, but we just did point out they're only on TV, twice? So it looks like Logical Raptors fanatic is engaging some Kings fans here, and Logical Raptors fanatic is sticking up for his or her team.
As they're supposed to.
Yeah.
We kick off the preseason with the Raptors.
That's right.
So
there we go.
It's a little funk in the streets right now.
Rivalry is really heating up.
It's the truth. As a matter of fact, I might text Coach Christie, you better not give in to your former squad. You know, that's how you make it happen. But no, they got the Raptors at the end of the season in April, on the road in April, the first day of April Fool's almost.
Mm-hmm.
Where are they playing them at home here? You seen Toronto at home?
Toronto will, let's see. That's a good question. Obviously, one here, one there. Yeah, it's not jumping out at me here.
Yeah, it's not. I'm looking for home games.
That's right here. It's January 21st at 7 p.m. And that's the second game in 2 nights. It's Miami and then Toronto. It's the third game in 4 nights for the Kings.
Yeah.
And it's the fourth game in 6.
Woo.
So that's a busy month.
That January the 9th is a Friday. It's on the road in Golden State, so we can drive there, get back, no problem.
Mm-hmm.
Jump on that 15-minute flight. But, man, that next 2 weeks, you ain't lying.
Yeah, Houston the 11th, Lakers the 12th, Knicks the 14th, Washington 16th, Portland 18th, Miami 20th, Toronto 21st, then on the road at Cleveland 23rd, Detroit 25th, Knicks 27th, Sixers 29th, Boston on the 30th.
Every 2 days. Every 2 days, and then 2 back-to-back, and then 1, 2, 3 back-to-backs. Wow.
Good thing this roster has a lot of depth.
Need some water?
Yeah, I'm gonna get a drink of water. Yeah, this isn't as much fun as I thought, but, onward and upward. The best thing is it means the season is going to be here before you know it. Speaking of schedules, we'll take a quick look at why the A's schedule in Sacramento next year might look a lot different as we continue to analyze the brand new Kings schedules. Jay and Whitey today. So drive, guys. Don't go away. Sacktown Sports.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
One of our chatters, Jess, was in the building. They're having a conversation about media. She said, not media like Dave. I mean real media. Dave is weird media, which is fine.
You're so weird media.
Weird media.
You can listen to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross Monday through Friday from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on 1140 a.m. YouTube or the Sacktown Sports app.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-838-6767. That's 800-838-6767.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card. So let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver Card is at table 27, and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
The Giant Summer Sale is here. Get giant savings on our giant selection only at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Looking to own or lease? Save during the Honda Summer Event and drive a brand new Accord or Civic. See all our specials at FolsomLakeHonda.com.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Go to FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop.
Around here, the summer can smack you silly, especially if your AC is not functioning at a high level. Whitey Gleason here. I had the opposite problem over the winter. System went down. It was panic time, but Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating saved the day. Let them save you from unnecessary summer misery. Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating, reliable, trustworthy. They do great work. They won awards for their service. Check the reviews at leesair.com. Find out about their $99 HVAC tune-up service. Save your summer now. Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating on the web at leesair.com. License number 635355.
Hey, this is Greg Papa. Are you working through a major insurance claim? Sunpoint Public Adjusters can help. Sunpoint prepares, presents, and negotiates your claim with the insurance company, working only for you, making sure you get everything you're entitled to, not what just some adjuster working for an insurance company thinks you should get. Call Sunpoint today at 888-247-7865 or contact us at sunpoint.us. Sunpoint Public Adjusters, the gold standard in public adjusting.
License number 2N14884.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave. I got to tell you, I am so excited to get this decking project started with Trex Decking and Railings. From the first time I stepped foot in the showroom last week, I was so impressed. So many color options, heat-resistant composite deck. What does that mean? That means I don't have to do any maintenance on it whatsoever. They even have a deck designer, so you can go online and see what your dream deck will look like on your house. Just visit Trex, that's TREX.com to get it started. Tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
Hi, I'm Frank LaRosa with Golf to Go. I love spending a day on the golf course with invited friends, but not with uninvited mosquitoes, which can carry serious diseases like West Nile virus. Don't let mosquito bites ruin your round or your health. Stay safe while playing golf, hiking, or enjoying the outdoors with family. Defend yourself with insect repellent. For tips about your golf game, listen for Golf to Go. But for more tips on protecting yourself and your home from mosquitoes, visit fightthebite.net.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet, a Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Woodland. What's happening for the Make This the Summer sales event?
Now is the time to enjoy all California has to offer. And what better way than a brand new 2025 Jeep Wrangler? And right now you can save up to $10,000 off MSRP. Don't miss your chance to save on one of America's best-selling SUVs.
And what is this I hear about 50 vehicles under $20,000?
Yes, at the Hoblet Certified Pre-Owned Supercenter, we have nearly 200 vehicles in stock, including Hemis, diesels, heavy duties, 4x4s, and 50 under $20,000. So whatever you're looking for, you can find it at Hoblet. We're a fifth-generation family dealer, and when you buy from Hoblet, you're treated like family because you become family. Don't miss our award-winning customer service and some of the best prices you will find on the truck of your dreams.
Search, select, and save through our whole inventory at HobletDodge.com. Nobody beats Hoblet, period. 10,000 total net savings on select new 2025 Jeep Wrangler Rubicon X after 5,000 factory rebates and 5,000 dealer discounts. 3 net savings, sample VIN 622117. See dealer for details.
Go on a culinary adventure at one of Europe's biggest food events coming to the Americas, Terra Madre. Discover more flavors to savor, more ideas to chew on, more voices shaping the future of food. Join chefs Alice Waters, Sean Sherman, and Jeremiah Tower for tastings, pop-ups, food demos, and panels, all celebrating good, clean, and fair food for all. Terra Madre Americas, September 26th through 28th in Sacramento. Savor the journey. Visit TerraMadreUSA.com for more details. Terra Madre Americas is supported by Sacramento International Airport and brought to you by Slow Food and Visit Sacramento.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Americans may not agree on much, but we agree on Social Security. We all pay in. It ought to be there when we need it. Social Security could face a funding gap in less than a decade, and I don't want to see a pay cut. I'm with AARP in the fight to protect the Social Security we earn.
Pledge to protect Social Security at aarp.org/weearnedit. That's aarp.org/weearnedit. Paid for by AARP.
Drapes and Whitey. Whitey and Drapes. You know the pair, the Drive Guys.
Mr. Draper is not present today. Whitey and Jay today. Real quick note here on the Kings and back-to-backs. I know we touched on this earlier. Kings have 14 back-to-backs in the brand new schedule, which sounds like a lot. It's kind of mid-pack because the Sixers, Nuggets, Suns, Hornets, and Wizards all have 16 back-to-backs. And then the Clips, Raptors, Blazers, Pelicans, Warriors, Heat, and Jazz have 15 back-to-backs. Of course, it's not just the number of them. It's when they are in the season and what you have going on around those. So plenty of time to dissect that. One thing we know is that last year, second game of back-to-back, the Kings were terrible. Doesn't mean they will be this year, but they were awful last year, second games of back-to-backs. So we'll get more into the schedule. Just I wanted to touch on, speaking of schedules, the A schedule real quick because this is about Sacramento. And Mark Kotze had some interesting things to say last night before we get back to the Kings. The Major League Baseball schedule is supposed to come out next week or so. They won't have the start times, but the schedule is coming out. Again, the start times don't come out till, from what I've read, January or so. But Mark Kotze said, Jay, that he's kind of pushing, and I think it's on behalf of the players, for more day games next year at Sutter Health Park.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't see that yesterday.
Yes. He points out that, it wasn't as hot as they thought it was going to be this year. But he says, as far as the day games, for the guys, they go to bed late. They wake up midday tomorrow. It impacts recovery for them because they had a night game last night on a getaway day.
Right.
And then the family time, you get an opportunity to have dinner tonight, dinner tomorrow. And those are valuable times for guys. They mean a lot to the wives, the kids, the families that don't get the attention and the time that we can't give them during the season, end quote. He pointed out that he's flying down, I think, to see his mom. And so he had to fly out today rather than fly out after a day game yesterday. So it's just, I mentioned it. I know it's kind of like nuts and boltsy, but it was such a big issue here in the offseason in Sacramento. When are they going to play the games? They can't play day games. They didn't play a ton of day games this year. Now the players are saying, we want more day games because it's easier on our bodies. There's a reason why teams play day games when they do on getaway days, and the players on the A's want to play more of them next year.
Well, yeah, getaway day has been predominantly during the afternoon. Sometimes you even see the 12:35 start,
right,
or the 107 start. So
because you got a game the next day in another city,
absolutely,
you want to give them time to travel.
Of course, man.
Yes.
You just never know. And he is specifically talking about day games.
Yes,
excuse me, getaway games, getaway days, not like, we want more day games, even if we're on a homestand too.
Well, I think he's talking about getaway days, but he also said this. He said 3:00's probably the hottest time of the day around here. He said, you look at the weather patterns, but we're going to go on this upcoming road trip. He said, we have a 12:10 game in Minnesota. We just played a 12:10 game in Washington. So those are doable game days. I think guys might appreciate or like to make that change. So he wants to start earlier day games here and then be done before it gets really hot and give the players afternoons off. And that, again, I think he's just, he's trying to say, hey, this might be a good idea. And I think he's speaking on behalf of the players who would like to see that.
Yeah, I will say this before I kind of give you my full response to that. Minus a few players and minus a few incidents this year, there hasn't really been that big of a deal over heat.
It hasn't at all.
Dehydration, exhaustion, like some of the things that we talked about, the turf getting super high, your feet being on fire, your shoes melting, cleats and all that.
Right.
We really haven't heard that much in that piece. Mark Kotze says it hasn't been that hot this year, which we know is kind of, but maybe as they like to say, a late summer. But I will say when you're really talking about day games, it's tough because, especially throughout the week, because so many people are already at work, school, some form of something. Now, a lot of the baseball season happens in the summer, so a lot of people aren't in school. But there are, like now, kids are going back to school way earlier these days.
Send them back to school way too
early. My daughter just started a couple days ago, yesterday, excuse me. And on top of that, we know April, May, kids are still in school. So there is a portion of a few months throughout the season. So you kind of miss the family environment. On top of that, look at us. Could we go to a day game? No. We got to come to work, right?
Who do you think we are, Kyle Draper?
Yeah. So I don't know about scheduling that many home games on the day. I think it works on the, we're on the West Coast. Scott, say you've been doing this for a long time, champ. Got to get them 6:35, 7:05 starts, brother.
I think there's a lot more issues between the Players Union and MLB on the A's conditions than we know. We know there was a lot of pushback last year, and that's why they moved so many games to night. So this may be something that is a bigger issue under the surface. But you're right. Mark Kotze said going into this year, we didn't know the circumstances. We base our decision-making processes on the previous season and previous summer, which was extremely hot. So just something to keep in mind next year, maybe more day games for the A's at Sutter Health Park, which, as you pointed out, Jay, cuts both ways. All right, that might be nice for the players. And, it's nice to be out at the ball yard on a beautiful summer day, but it's going to be even tougher to get people into the yard for those 12-10 Thursday starts against the always colorful Baltimore Orioles. So we'll see about all of that. As far as the Kings, the brand new schedule, Jay's really concerned about the start. And what else concerns you, Jay? I know that stretch there. Well, November, especially the first half of November. I mean, you look like you saw a ghost or something when you were going over those games for the first part of November. That's scary. That's a scary stretch.
that end of last week of October into the last week of November, that full month that's a problem. Because what do we normally do when you pull out a schedule, Whitey? What are the first 2 or 3 things that you believe most people do when they pull up a schedule? It could be NFL, baseball, it could be NCAA. What are you doing?
I don't know how other people look at it, but you look for any kind of pattern that jumps out at you, like,
okay,
whoa, there's a lot of games that month, or that's a long homestand, or look at the back-to-backs. Sometimes, as you say, it's like the opponent's like, man, they play a lot of games in a row against really good teams in that stretch.
Which is, I'll simplify it for you, because I think you're Whitey Gleason and you're a legend and you're diving a little deeper. You pencil in the wins, man.
Really?
You're looking for
Kings
the gimmies.
Fans?
Come on, bro. Hear what I just said. See, that's what I said. I think you're looking at it in a deeper form. I see it. NFL schedule, your team schedule, NBA schedule, March Madness schedule. Normally, the first thing you do when you pick up a schedule is you look at one of the things, patterns, home games, stuff like that, and you're looking for, that's a win, that's a win, that's a win. At least most people I'm around.
Okay.
Now you may be a little different.
I never
you may
do
be
that,
a professor. Yeah, you may be a professor about your game. When you look at that first month and a half, it's hard to find where you can pencil in a win.
You're not jotting down a lot of W's there.
Nah, not on paper. And so I'm just saying I'm oversimplifying it. When you look at opening night, you look at Phoenix, and let's just do it a little bit. Let's have a little exercise. The 22nd, that's a win, right? That's what you're looking for. Okay.
Right.
Game 2, Utah, that damn show better be a win.
Absolutely.
Okay, pencil in. Now here we go. This is the stretch. Sunday, October 26th, 6 p.m. against the Lakers.
Now, I personally I can't pencil it. I'm not saying they won't win, but I don't look at that and go, oh, that's a W. I don't.
There we go. Same thing. Now, 2 days later, the first on the back-to-back, you got OKC in Chicago, 28th. On the road, OKC, can't pencil it in, right?
No, Jameis ate my W there. I can't.
Absolutely. Now, Chicago, you pencil it in on the road, on the back-to-back? Probably not.
Maybe, but yeah.
Because of the circumstances.
Back.
There you go.
Right.
Milwaukee, Saturday, you penciling that in on the road?
Nope.
All right. Come back. Excuse me. Didn't you end up at Denver?
Trouble. Nope.
Okay.
Nope. Nope.
Warriors, OKC, Minnesota on a Sunday, Denver on a Tuesday, Atlanta on a back-to-back at home. You giving me the pencil?
No.
Okay. Minnesota on the road that Friday.
No.
All right. Spurs on the road Sunday.
No.
Okay. OKC? No.
No.
Memphis on the road the 20th. You gonna let me pencil that W in?
Second night of a back-to-back?
That's second night of a back-to-back. All right. Denver?
Nope.
All right. Minnesota Monday?
Nope.
Phoenix the 26th.
Give me the W.
Man.
But that's not to say they won't win some of those games.
No, of course they will. But I'm saying more times than not, I pick up the schedule. It sounds like I might be alone, I guess. When I normally pick up the 49er schedule, and we did the exercise, you pick up the Raiders schedule, the Seahawks,
anybody. A lot of people do that. I think you're right.
You pick up the schedule and you normally say, we got the Panthers. Okay, that's a win. Oh, we got the Jags at home. Oh, man, that's a W. Oh, my goodness. You know what? We played the Cardinals week 3, and then we played the Cardinals week 16. I think we might be able to get it. Oh, and we played Thursday night the week before, so we're on an extended period. You start to count, wins and losses. You start to calculate them. If I'm looking at that first part of it, you didn't let me pencil in nothing.
You can if you want to. I just wouldn't. I would advise you not to. But as we said, for years we've talked about the West is so tough, and it's still very tough. The West is getting tougher. So the teams that finished below you last year, the Kings have been declining the last few years. So you got Portland. You could probably depending on the circumstances, you could pencil in a W for Portland, for Utah, for Phoenix. The Spurs, no, right? If we're being honest,
no,
you can't pencil it. Can't. So because the Kings have been kind of, and they're trying to find their way, and there's talk of maybe it being a gap year, we'll see. And a lot of other teams in the West are even getting better and better and better. That's why you end up with a West heavy schedule, being in the conference going, yeah, there's not a lot of automatic W's on this list right now.
Yeah, well, not in the beginning. As I said, as we'll work our way through the rest of the schedule, we've kind of jumped around a little bit. There's definitely some pockets where you can add them up. It's just that first month.
Yeah.
Getting out on a good footing, especially trying to, rid the taste of last year, that bad taste in your mouth. You're trying to bring out that oral rinse, talking about, about dentistry here on the Drive, guys.
It's been a heavy dentistry week. It has. Jay's going to identify one of those winning pockets for us when we come right back to Sacktown Sports.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Throwing things at or onto a field or court can seriously injure people, unless it's that hockey thing where you throw the teddy bears on the ring. So they all get collected and given to kids.
All of them? No bear left behind.
You can listen to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross Monday through Friday from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on 1140 a.m., YouTube, or the Sacktown Sports app.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products in next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
If you've got a gas-powered engine, keep it running like new at every fill-up. Stable in-season protection is your engine's preventative medicine, cleaning and protecting the entire fuel system in season. In outdoor power equipment, prevent gum and varnish buildup that could cause a rough or non-running engine. For cars and trucks, increase fuel efficiency and power by removing deposits, ensuring your engine's long-term health. Stable outperforms the competition in independent lab testing. So at every fill-up, start with Stable.
Progressive knows we all crave validation.
Girl, you are not 37.
I would have guessed 27.
You guys are too sweet.
Sure, dewy skin.
Terrific. Is something wrong, Ned?
Why would you ask? Just because today marks my 10th anniversary without a car accident or even a speeding ticket? But somehow, tonight's all about your skincare.
Wow. With Snapshot from Progressive, you can get a personalized rate based on how you drive. And that's all the validation you need. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Snapshot not available in California or from all agents. Surcharge possible for unsafe driving.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave here for Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room, inviting you to come join them every Wednesday for their midweek madness drawing, giving away $2,000 in total cash starting at 6 p.m. It's a safe and friendly environment, plenty of well-lit parking available, and it's conveniently located right there in downtown Sacramento. And remember, best food, best service, best games, 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. For more information, log on to capital-casino.com and gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
There's always more Kings talk to discuss.
And we got you covered. It's the Drive Guys.
Oh, some very interesting comments from the smartest listeners and viewers in radio here. Thanks for participating. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140 on the text line. And in just a minute, Jay's going to identify a promising pocket of this King schedule. Jersey Boys 916 says, 8 p.m. NBC starts. That's 11 p.m. on the East Coast. I'm going to need some serious energy drinks. Let's go. Yeah, not excited about the 8 p.m. starts, but obviously can't complain.
Yeah.
Compared to your situation.
Who said that?
That's Jersey Boy.
Jersey Boy.
Jersey Boys 916.
Meet me at the 104 section, baby. I'll rock with you.
Let's see here. Every time I try to be optimistic, I just see Robert Horry sitting on the 3-point line waiting for a tip ball. You just gotta get out of that mindset. I understand it, but you just can't be thinking about Robert Horry every time you start to feel optimistic. Trey says y'all need to stop looking at the schedule because the part of the schedule where y'all say it eases up might be the games that we lose. LOL. So don't worry about it. Just suit up and play. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, no doubt.
Mm-hmm. But you just can't help but look at the schedule and go, wow, that's kind of a tough stretch. UPS Chris says 10-10 would be a more than amazing start with this schedule. 209 asks, is Drapes being a baby about his teeth again?
He's actually out at an event, vacation.
That's right. And it does sound like he had some serious dental stuff.
Well, when you get your wisdom teeth and then a root canal and you double back within a week and then on top of that, crown moldings and stuff.
That's tough back-to-back.
That's crucial.
Yeah.
It's almost as tough as a OKC Denver back-to-back.
Yeah. From the EDH, El Dorado Hills. So glad the A's are predicting a cool summer next year. That's amazing.
Meteorologist.
Yeah. And Rob M is with you, Jay. I totally agree. I definitely count what should be wins and what should be losses. First thing.
Yeah, that's one of the first things I do.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Rob M are we're on the same playing field. That's what I truly do.
Mm-hmm. So you have found for us, for Kings fans, a pocket of this schedule. Let's face it, at first glance, it's rather daunting.
Yeah.
But you say, oh, look at this stretch. A little oasis here.
Yeah. What normally happens in March?
Oh, you got March Madness.
March Madness.
St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
Spring is sprung.
Come on now.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
My wife's birthday. I should have mentioned
that.
Yeah,
that should have been the first thing you do.
Yeah.
100%. You better get that right, Mr. Gleason. How about this? A Tuesday, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A Tuesday that starts a 5-game homestand. Talking none other than March 3rd. You started Phoenix. That's an 8 p.m. start. I know you'll be gone by at the end of the first quarter. Then you bring in the Pelicans, the daunting Pelicans, at home. That's a 7 p.m. start. You get 2 days off. You get that Friday and Saturday. So you can go out, do a little something, and then Saturday you're good. Sunday, you got a 6 p.m. start. That's against the Chicago Bulls. You get a day off in between. Before you start a back-to-back, you have the Indiana Pacers at home. Does that scare you?
Not right now.
All right. And guess who you get on the back-to-back? None other than LaMelo Ball if he's playing. Charlotte comes in the next night.
Yeah. I will say this, though, backing up to Indiana.
All right.
You know that last year, teams would come in with like 4 guys and the equipment manager, and they'd come in and they'd beat the Kings by 11.
True.
So
it's different. Whitey, this is different this year, brother.
All right.
Okay. Let's start positive.
You say
here.
so. Yeah.
So you got Phoenix, the Pelicans, Chicago, the Pacers, and Charlotte 5-game homestand.
Very promising.
That's.
I'm with you.
Okay, I see some trumpets started to play.
Mm-hmm.
Then you get
have a couple more days off there.
Yeah, you have 2 more.
Ooh, all right.
And you go on it. That's an ESPN game, right? ESPN 7:30. You go down to Intuit Dome and you take on the Clippers, which by that time you're going to be fighting for a playoff spot. So you got to go down there and prove it. Now, even if you let that slip, it's okay.
So, Jay, if I may, going back to the 1st of March, that's a road game.
Yeah.
But I believe I haven't left the state yet.
You have not.
I'm halfway through the month of March, and I've been in Cali the whole time.
Absolutely. And you start that month, the March, 1st of March is against the Lakers.
Yeah.
So you're spot on. So you go down right back to the Clippers. You get your game into a dome, and then guess what happens? You come right back home, though it is a back-to-back, but you play Utah, who we know is going to be tanking yet again for another top player, a boozer twin.
That's the point by which they're just not even playing their guys.
They're done.
Yeah.
So, and it's later, because remember, the Sunday prior, you played Chi-Town at 6 o'clock. This time you play 7 o'clock at home in front of your home fans. You can take Utah on a back-to-back. Then you get NBC game. You got to get pumped up there, Whitey. 2 days later, you got the Spurs. De'Aaron Fox back in town.
Yeah.
You gotta pump yourself up.
That's his first trip back, huh?
Ooh, that's a good question. because they played the
Well,
first.
I know he was back last year.
Yeah,
but I mean, next year.
season. Let's see here. That may be. They don't play the Spurs at home. Yeah, I think you're right. So it's going to be fired up. It's going to be going up at the Golden One. Then you have, which I believe by that time they'll be tapped out. As you said, they'll be cooked. You'll be playing the 76ers at home.
By then they'll be like the 34ers.
Yeah, it's over. Yeah. It's over. Then you get 2 more days off. 2
more days off. I like this.
And guess who you get to play?
Give me a bad team.
All right. Let me put it in the spin machine. You got Brooklyn Nets.
Okay.
Jordy coming back at home that Sunday. And then guess when you go now, you've been at home pretty much. And as you said, you haven't left the state all month. March 24th.
I got to leave the state now?
Finally on the 23rd, travel day. 24th, guess who you get to go play?
See, back east somewhere. I don't know. Can you give me a lesser team again?
Let me look. I got the Charlotte Hornets for you if you don't mind.
I love it.
Absolutely.
No offense. I know that's your squad.
Nah, don't worry about it. Charlotte, then Orlando. We'll see where they'll be at that time. You take on Atlanta. All these days are separated with the day off in between. You got Charlotte on the road. Start a 5-game road woe. You got Charlotte, Orlando, Atlanta, and then Brooklyn again.
Brooklyn again for the second time in a week?
Yes. That's on the road. Then you go to, who was that? Logistical Toronto Raptor fan. What was the name? Logical Toronto Raptor fan. The tongue twister.
Yeah.
What was their name?
Logical Raptors fanatic.
Oh, Logical Raptors fanatic.
Yeah.
We take on the Raptors. Then you head to the Pelicans. Then you have the last 4 games here. You got the Clippers, Warriors twice, Portland Trailblazers. I think if you're really looking at it, you make up a lot of headway in March there. Phoenix, Pelicans, Chicago, Pacers, Charlotte, Clippers, Utah, Spurs, Philadelphia, Brooklyn, Charlotte, Orlando, Atlanta, Brooklyn, Toronto, Pelicans. It's not bad. It's not a bad month.
Boy, looking ahead to March, that week of the 22nd, Jay, I foresee a lot of truncated editions of the Drive Guys. You look at those game times, right? 4 o'clock, 4 o'clock,
4, 3, 4.
Yeah, 5 o'clock. So we'll see what we can do about that.
That's not bad. Okay, now let's do this. Here we go.
Will the Kings be in position to take advantage of that soft serve month?
That's a good question because Kyle Ledbetter behind me, he brought up something I hadn't thought about because my focus had been on just looking over the schedule, getting my natural reaction here on air as I looked around, didn't look at it today. Could you imagine this team? We talked about the struggles it could venture into the beginning of the month and a half, October, November. Could you envision this team stumbling out the blocks? And we've heard a bunch of the Kings Kingdom, a bunch of the fans talk about tank, play the young guns. We know DeMar's on pretty much a final year deal. He's got an option next year.
Yep.
Could you imagine if you stumble out the blocks and let's just say by time the Cup, which is second week of December, you got Houston, Miami, Pacers. Then you got the Cup games.
Those are the games in Vegas.
Yes.
Yeah.
TBD. And then you got Portland twice that month, Houston, Detroit, Dallas, Clippers, and the Lakers. Could you imagine if they stumble, they start to make some moves? Go a little younger. DeMar DeRozan may be on the trading block. We hear whispers.
Yeah.
We may see a different team by March. Easy, right? By All-Star break, which is February the 15th.
Yeah, definitely.
Be interesting.
Definitely. That's
Could
why
be
it's so important to get off to the good start. By the way, I want to correct myself when I said those games, December 9th through 16th, I said those are Vegas games. Those are not, I don't know when the finals are, but those are not Vegas games. That's just in the NBA Cup. They don't know who's going to play who yet because it depends who emerges from their groups.
But I got what you're saying. The finals are in Vegas. The semifinals are at home court.
Yeah, but that's why they can't schedule yet. They don't know
where and why.
So there will be presumably one way or the other. Yeah, one way or the other, the Kings will have some games placed in that slot that we don't have yet. So we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, I think I've digested it enough. It's a little tricky in the beginning. Yeah, we're the Alka-Seltzer. It's a little.
I heard
the
about
Rolaids or something.
Years ago, this guy, I didn't know him. I read about this. He's playing golf and he's a little hungover or not feeling great. And he wants to, at the turn, after 9 holes, he wants to take some Alka-Seltzer. But instead of putting it in the glass and drinking it, he pops the Alka-Seltzer
in the
and
mouth.
then drinks. Yeah.
What?
And then drinks.
Oh, that's a wild boy.
Yeah. And I think, you can imagine what happened to his stomach.
Oh.
He required medical attention.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you don't want to do that.
No.
Yeah.
Put it in some liquid first.
Right. Let it do its
Fizzle,
thing. Pop,
diffuse,
fizz before you put it inside you.
Yeah.
More on what the new NBA schedule tells us about the Kings' chances this year when we come right back, just rolling on schedule release day. Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Throwing things at or onto a field or court can seriously injure people, unless it's that hockey thing where you throw the teddy bears on the ring. So they all get collected and given to kids.
All of them? No bear left behind.
You can listen to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross Monday through Friday from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on 1140 a.m., YouTube, or the Sacktown Sports app.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hagen Oaks wants to be your go-to total golf game fitter. Try the TrackMan experience, the very best technology to fit your metalwoods and irons. The new cutting-edge putter fitting studio with its $30,000 worth of technology is ready for your fitting. Hagen Oaks will help you find the best putter for your game. Hagen Oaks offers more technology, more choices, and more service. Schedule your fitting at the Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio by calling 916-808-2531, 808-2531 for more. Hi, I'm Frank LaRosa with Golf to Go. I love spending a day on the golf course with invited friends, but not with uninvited mosquitoes, which can carry serious diseases like West Nile virus. Don't let mosquito bites ruin your round or your health. Stay safe while playing golf, hiking, or enjoying the outdoors with family. Defend yourself with insect repellent. For tips about your golf game, listen for Golf to Go. But for more tips on protecting yourself and your home from mosquitoes, visit fightthebite.net.
Carmichael Dave here for my friends at American Energy Heating and Air. Yes, I always tell you they are a family-owned operation, been in business since 81, A-plus Better Business Bureau, but it is hot. We are in those Sacramento hot months. I want to focus on them being your second opinion partner. What does that mean? Maybe you've got somebody you're working with or you've worked with in the past in the HVAC world. Guess what? They want to give you a second opinion. How much does it cost? Nothing. You call them up and say, hey, can I get a second opinion on this deal? They come out and they either say, wow, that's a great deal, you should feel better about that. Or they say, we can beat that price. And usually they're going to beat it by a lot. Guess what? You just saved money and it didn't cost you anything to find out. It's a no-lose situation. Go with a trusted company. American Energy, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. Jingle Singers, take it away.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Hi, Sacramento. It's the No Surprise Guys at Bell Brothers. AC acting up? Call Bell Brothers. Need a new system? Get $2,500 off, 0% financing, and no payments for 12 months and approved credit. Just need a tune-up? Get an $87 AC maintenance with same-day appointments. You're on time, quote up front, and fix it right. No surprises. Call Bell Brothers or book at thenosurpriseguys.com.
Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has the best selection of new and pre-owned vehicles. All of them top quality, hand-selected by their general manager, Chuck Dean. You can see for yourself their huge selection at SacSuperstore.com with the lowest prices and the best car buying experiences anywhere. Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram.
Your local sports leader in the 916.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, Sacktown Sports 1140. The Drive Guys.
Somebody from the 916, Whitey. Tell me the last time we had an athletic front court. JK and Keegan Murray, a top 10 power forward, small forward combo. You buying that? No, you can't.
Why you give me that 10? I mean, let's slow down. He's not even here yet.
Right.
He doesn't even play here.
You can listen to The Drive Guys Monday through Friday from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. on 1140 a.m., YouTube, and the Sacktown Sports app. Live and local, it's The Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
Yeah, that last promo notwithstanding, can we agree, Jay, today is a Kuminga-free zone? We're just not going there today. I know I mentioned his name.
It's 3 o'clock.
We're just not going there today.
But then I'm following your cab, sir.
Yeah. Something happens. Ain't going to happen. Yeah, if something happens, maybe we talk about it. But where today is, don't worry.
There's 2 or 3 NBA insiders right now that I've reached out to, and they've all said, if the Kuminga thing happens, call me immediately.
Really?
Yeah, big name guys that you see every, TV and all that. And they're like, if it happens, call me because I want to have a discussion about it.
Okay.
But they're like, there ain't nothing to talk about right now. So
I want to mention this while I'm thinking of it. I was trying to get Tim Roy on today, and I haven't heard from him. I don't know what he's doing. He's
busy.
I know
he's on vacation.
He probably is. Tim has been one of the most gracious with his time, and I mean, this is for years and years going back on many, many stations. But I reached out to him because I saw he posted something on the 18th, which is Monday. He's going to be involved in this, and so is Mark Jones.
Okay.
There's going to be an online seminar that teaches people how to be statisticians.
Ooh.
And you may say, but as Tim points out in his post, this is, if you're wondering, I want to work in sports, how could I work in sports broadcasting? You take this course, which I believe is free if you get the link and you sign up. And I know that it's, legit if you got Mark Jones and Tim Roy as part of it. So if you want more information on that, let us know or look it up. I know Tim Roy posted it. But, so many people, we all were like this too. I wish I could work in sports and sports media. And
no doubt
this could be, a way in for you. So we'll try to get you more information on that. Maybe tomorrow we can get Tim or we can get Mark on to talk about it.
Hey, check that out. I hadn't seen that.
I'd never heard of that before. And I think he said this is the 6th year.
What?
Yeah.
Statistician is an interesting situation because we have the opportunity to be up close to some great people who do great work behind the scenes at the Sacramento Kings game. And who fascinates me? And I don't even know if I could say his name. I won't say his name because I know the NBA is a little iffy sometimes. They can get a little iffy.
Really?
But there's a gentleman at the arena who is the person that decides and deciphers attributes within the game, meaning that's a rebound. That's an assist.
Oh, I see.
That is a jump hook in the lane. That is a 14-foot floater. That is a 3-pointer, from 23 feet.
Because you need that to do the official play-by-play.
Yes.
Yeah, and the official stats.
It is interesting.
I'd never even thought of that.
The intricacies of that. And all they do, and I won't say all they do, but they sit there and their job is to watch the game like all of us, and they're calling out these intricacies throughout the game. To me, that's a job that you would never, ever think about, right? Growing up, who even knows that jobs exist?
Right.
But when you have the opportunity to meet some of the great people that we have, down at the G1C and all throughout the NBA and, of course, football, I find that I geek out on that a little bit. I'm like, damn, so you're the one who's calling out, that's a 14-foot floater. That's a left-handed layup 3 feet outside the paint. Like, that's amazing. And then you look at all the intricacies on the back end and you see all these plays and they're calling out those plays. It's phenomenal. Phenomenal.
Here's the info. Tim Roy posted a link to this, and he's on Twitter at WarriorsVox, Warriors VOX. He says it's next Monday. Great avenue into working sporting events for a living. Please come join us as it is absolutely free. And then Warriors PR says 1 more week to sign up. 6th annual Bo Chapman Statistician Training School featuring Tim Roy, Mark Jones, Stephanie White. Okay. She's a coach she used to be a WNBA coach and works for ESPN. So anyway, there's a link there and it's free. And so I just thought, we have a lot of people listening that would like to do something in sports media. And if Tim Roy and Mark Jones say, I'm part of this, then that's good enough for me.
You know what?
That's
I
legit.
might do it. I might try.
I would do it myself, I think, but
what time? Are we on air? Oh, no, you're on vacation.
I'm on vacation. I don't think my wife would take too kindly to that. It's
you better not.
10 a.m. to 1, excuse me. Yeah, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. our time.
Got some wiggle room.
Yeah. And then
that's a 3-hour class, brother. I'm back in college.
Yeah, Monday, August 18th.
Okay. I might take a look at
Now,
that.
once you do it, what do you get? Or I have no
clue.
idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if you get thrown onto a list, or
No
do
idea.
they give you some information of where to go to sign up? Is there a some type of association for statisticians or something? I'm
I
not
know
sure.
Scott Marsh does stats a lot, I think.
Does he?
And I think
I know that.
I think Allen even did it one game last year.
Really?
Yeah.
For the Kings?
It might have been for the road team.
Okay, got you.
Mhm.
Yeah. Honestly, have you ever done spotting for anyone? Or you've been the person play-by-playing, like for
No, I've
football?
never. I think maybe doing college football once. We had a spotter. I wasn't a spotter. No, I haven't.
Spotting is interesting too. Have you? You've had a spotter, so you know what it's called. But is it something that we continuously need? And I know, on the highest level, NFL on Fox, some colleges here and there. Do you think we still need them?
I think it's a useful service.
Yeah.
It makes the broadcast a little better.
I love it.
Yeah,
I actually like
great.
it. Yeah. I like it. When I was young, I did a little spotting. It's a good way to get your foot into the door.
For those who don't know, that's when they're announcing a football game, and there's somebody there to point out to the announcers who made the tackle or who made the play.
Right.
Yeah.
Because we'll have Chris Myers on here in about an hour.
Chris Myers.
Yeah, he's the play-by-play, NFL on Fox, been doing it for many years. We can ask him about spotting and how useful and how important they are. But it is because, as you know, sometimes you're super high, you got your binoculars on, or you're
Right.
looking and hunting and you're pecking. Sometimes they're looking at the monitor. For the most part, at least in my experience for football, they're looking at the monitor because you're so high up in football stadiums. And then you're looking for, extracurricular things, or, you point. And I'll paint the picture. If me and Whitey are sitting next to each other and Whitey's calling the game and he says, Fred Warner with the tackle, but there might have been a co-tackle, somebody else, D. Winters. I'll quickly point to D. Winters, number 53, and D. Winters also assisted on a tackle. So it's some way to kind of get into the game, be a part of, as you said, sports media, and you don't necessarily need to have all the vocational training as much as play-by-play guys and
Get
color
you in,
analysts and
though,
stuff.
once you're in.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
That door is cracked open.
We're talking about the Kings schedule today, of course, on the text line 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Jason and Rockland, striking a note of optimism, Jay.
Yes, sir.
With all the schedule talk, doesn't a little bit of each of you believe there's a Kings team this coming season that we haven't seen yet? A lot of the same players, but a lot of opportunity for new influences and cohesiveness that could turn into wins? Agree or disagree, Jason and Rockland?
I agree. And yourself?
I'm glad you agree. I just think that there's some roster things that need to be addressed before we get to that point, in my opinion.
Gotcha.
I don't disagree. I just think we got a couple things in the way of that right now.
He's a cold brother.
With maybe if the Kings get off to a less than sensational start, maybe some things will, maybe they'll make some moves and maybe they'll pivot to a more youth-oriented approach. And it doesn't look like the odds are in their favor as far as getting off to a good start, does it? If we're being honest.
Right. Not on paper. No. I think I saw Carmichael Dave said, and maybe he said it on the morning show. I think he's on vacation, right? Yet again.
I think so. He's fly fishing in
Montana for his birthday.
Yeah.
Is that what it was?
With his dad?
Your guess is as good as mine.
I saw on social media.
Yeah. I did see him talking about fishing like he's the Zen master, Phil Jackson. I thought I saw, and I'll pull it up. I thought he said so much for that 13-5 start for the Sacramento Kings. And then I saw him post something. Sacramento Kings over under on wins this year, 35.5. I don't know if he's getting that from a book or, a sports book somewhere, or if he's just off the top of his head with that. But let's see here. He said something about the start. He's got so many pictures of he's out fishing, but he hasn't shown one fish.
No, because he can't fish because he's tweeting all the time. Out there in his waders and everything, and he's in the middle of the stream. I better post this.
Like, come on, man. I'm looking for the tweet where he said that so much for the 13-5, but he's basically being sarcastic in the form of the beginning of this season doesn't look promising, as you said, for the Sacramento Kings. I asked that in the form of, I don't know the context, and was he talking about that the last couple of days on the show, prior to him going on vacation? Was that something he threw out, socially? So I was trying to ask that to you. Had you seen him talk about, a goal for the Sacramento Kings starting this year?
No, I haven't. And that's a great question, because I'm still waiting for Scott Perry to, address that. I'm hoping that whenever he appears before the media again, I'm hoping that if I get a chance, I can ask him, what can we expect as far as what are the goals this year? How many wins is basically what we want to ask. And, Jay, as we discussed, you got to be careful the way you phrase questions, especially with a veteran like him.
Sure.
Because he can easily dance around it, and he doesn't appear in any mood to start talking about, we want to win this many games, we want to win that many games. But what is the goal? What are they trying to accomplish this year? I would like to know. I think a lot of fans would like to know. And I'm not saying they're obligated to tell us. We'll find out soon enough. But I'm wondering if they're, like I say, if they're thinking we want to do this, but if that doesn't work early, then we're going to shift gears. I don't know. By the way, Ken Washington in the chat
says, Big Ken.
That's why I love you, Jay. Your optimism is real doing Kings Radio. You got to keep that on the battlefield.
Well, man, as Big Ken is a half glass full type of character, so I'm with Ken. As much as, sometimes things can look you in your face and tell you, that's probably not what is going to, that's not what's going to happen. And that's probably not what's going to go down. But it's sports. How many times we always talk about they still got to rock. They still got to play the game. You still got to go out and compete. And we don't know. Who's to say the Kings don't jump out and get hot?
Yeah.
All of a sudden. They're feeling good about themselves. Ain't no telling what's going on. You don't know the camaraderie that they may build early on in the preseason, training camp. You just never know.
That's true.
You never know.
To Jason and Rockland's point, where he asked us about, there's a Kings team that we haven't seen yet. The last couple of years, the Kings, in my opinion, have been victims of the success they had when they won 48. When they won 48 games, we all saw this. They snuck up on a lot of teams.
Yeah, they did.
There were a lot of teams. They go on the road and they'd be playing somebody, and the team's like, oh, these are the Kings. They're no good. Yeah, they've won a lot of games, but they're not that good. By the time the teams realize, in the fourth quarter, it's like, wow, we got a game. It was too late. And then in the 2 years since then, I think the Kings have had a hard time living up to that expectation. Especially the 46 win year, I think they had a little bit of a target on the back. This year, I don't think that's the case. As Ken says, we're not sure what to expect. Other teams are going to be looking down on the Kings. If the deal with Schroeder works and he and Zach LaVine find some sort of way to play really well together, I could see the Kings sneak it up on some teams. I'm being honest. I don't know how likely it is, but it's certainly a possibility.
Well, one of the pet peeves I've always had here, and not just as of late, but for Sacramento, minus, the great run in the late 90s, early 2000s, and a few, spots here and there, is I always feel people look at the Sacramento Kings as a get right game.
Yeah.
We're coming to Sacramento. That's a chance, an opportunity. If we're stumbling, if we're faltering, that's a get right game for us. If the Kings come in town, and even on the bare minimum, so even let's just take a Brooklyn last year, who when they had Schroeder early on, they were a little competitive. As the season wore on, reality, as I like to say, sunk in.
Back to reality.
Yeah, back to life. Okay, back to reality. But you can't tell me.
Back to reality.
Why wouldn't you look at the schedule and say, oh, the Kings coming in, then we got the Pelicans, and we got Washington. Oh, yeah, that's a winnable series, string of games. So as much as we're sitting here looking at in March and we're saying, oh, well, we got Brooklyn twice in 7 days. You got Charlotte twice within about 10 days. You got an Orlando team. You don't know where they're going. You got Philadelphia. They could be tapped out by then. The Pelicans, we probably know Zion's going to be definitely done by March. You got Phoenix. We definitely need to beat them. Chicago at home on a Sunday. Utah on a Sunday. No doubt Brooklyn Nets fans are doing the same thing. Oh, we got the Kings. at home on a Sunday at 3 p.m., that's a win. And that, to me, is the problem. That's my issue, is because and Coach Christie talks about this all the time. You guys got to feel us.
Absolutely. I agree 100%. And it's crucial. And I think the Kings had a chance to seize that kind of identity after the Beam Team year. And for a lot of reasons, they didn't do it. But I think it's because this team is not stem to stern the most talented roster. There's some really good players on this team. There's good players on every team. There's some really good players on this NBA roster for the Kings. Really good players. The talent level top to bottom probably doesn't match a lot of good teams. How do you compensate for that? It's cliche, but I'm with you, Jay. And this is something Doug Christie has talked about, something Mike Brown talked about. You can't let teams come in and clown you. You can't let teams come in and just like, this is fun. They have to feel you. You have to be giving your identity has to be one of effort.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It has to be to compensate for the fact that your roster is not as talented as other teams. It's the way the Kings have to play if they're going to be competitive. There's no other way around it.
Definitely in the beginning, when you got fresh legs, fresh feet, you're not faint of heart. You're in for the long haul. You're just getting going. Definitely. Because the way the schedule sets up on paper, the first month is daunting. I do believe, just as you said, this team, this organization has to change the narrative painted around them outside of here. And as you said, filling you and making sure that we're just no pushovers anymore.
Yeah.
We're not being punked.
Right.
Teams
can't be thinking that they're coming into Golden One. It's like, oh, this will be kind of fun. We'll get to, improve our numbers and that also has a lot to do with what they do defensively. As far as another team feeling you, as far as being gritty. If you've watched basketball a long time or you played, you know that starts at the other end.
Truth, defensive.
Yes.
And you've been preaching that for a long time. Somebody from 916, they're quoting me. We don't know where Orlando is going. I don't. You know where Orlando is? I know where they want to go. I know what they're on paper, what they want to do.
Nobody knows, but I think they got a chance to be really good.
I do
we'll
too,
see.
100%.
Yeah.
But I said that last year.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't you say that last year?
I thought so, yes.
Absolutely. Were they good last year?
They were not as good as they thought they were.
I'm trying to figure it out. Paolo Banchero ain't been upright quite a bit, throughout his career. Now, Desmond Bane is a baller. Franz Wagner been hurt quite a bit.
I think that's fair. They have a chance to be really good.
Oh, absolutely.
We know that? Do we know they're going to be? We don't
know. Yeah, Suggs didn't play all last season. They are a team that, for me, I think on paper, as we're talking about paper, I like what they've done. I really like Des Bane. He is one of my, and I've said this before, D Bane and DeMar DeRozan have the best short dribble in the league to me. Meaning when they get to skipping and hopping to the lane, they have that little small, quick dribble that, a few inches off the floor to set them up to go up. I truly like Desmond Bane's short dribble. I think it's the best in the league, and I think Debo's is the second best in the league. On paper, they look great, especially in a depleted East. Boston is down. Indiana is down. Depends on where you believe what Milwaukee's going to do. But we're talking about in March. That's 8 games before the end of the season.
Right.
Talk to me then, 916. I don't know.
Is that an Orlando Magic fan?
It must be. Yeah, it might be. It's fine. And that's cool. I'll take some Orlando Heat. Just long as you were rooting for Scott Skiles. Now, if you came, you D. Howard fan,
Dennis Scott.
Yeah, you better have been rocking with Nick Anderson, Tree Rollins.
I love that team that lost in 2009 to the Lakers in the finals because they had Hito and they had Rashard Lewis.
Yep, Rashard. Yeah. Love Rashard Lewis.
And that was one of the first teams that played like the Warriors played with Stan Van Gundy. Pardon me. They played that 4 or 5 out. It was 4 out with Dwight Howard, and they were just bombs away from 3. Bombs away. That was a fun team.
Oh yeah. I love R. Lewis. They are. Is that Jameer Nelson was on the?
That's
was he on
right.
that squad?
Yes,
Jameer Nelson was on that squad.
Yes,
I like that. They did have a fun team,
but they spoiled everything because they beat Cleveland, and that was supposed to be LeBron against Kobe in the finals. We never did see it. Right. The basketball gods decided, nope,
it's all good.
You are not worthy, or they're not worthy, or somebody's not worthy.
March 26th, The Kings play Orlando at the Epcot Center. Charlotte before that, Atlanta, and then Brooklyn. I think if all looks good for Orlando, they're top 4 seed in the East. They would want to be.
They got a shot at it.
Yeah, he responded, Sarah. He or she, they'll definitely be better than the Kings. I don't know. I think they're right in the grouping. On paper, they look pretty similar. It's just the fact that they're playing on the East Coast.
Yeah, if you're a young team in the East, and I know, we don't have a lot of fans of those teams listening right now. We have a few.
Yeah, no doubt.
But, a team like Detroit, Orlando, right now, you could look say, this is our time.
Atlanta.
We could do what Indiana has been doing the last couple of years.
Yeah. I continue to keep saying Atlanta. I think just like Orlando in the 916, I get where they're coming from because Orlando has shown the propensity this year. They look like they're going for it, meaning they're looking for a long run. Now, if you're going to pick up the phone and text and say they're a damn championship contender, you out your mind right now in the beginning of the season. I don't see that. But if you're saying they're going to push towards, a top 4 seed in the East, maybe make it to second or third round, yeah, I can see that on paper because the East is wide open. I think Atlanta's in that same position. I said it a bunch last year. I love Dyson Daniels. I really love Dyson Daniels. I thought he was a steal, an absolute steal. I really like what they're doing. I'm a Trae Young fan, and we've seen it. He's taken this team to the Eastern Conference Finals already. If Orlando and Detroit, let's just throw them 2 out. If those are the 2 top teams that Atlanta's facing, they got a shot too.
Yeah, here to me is the big difference between Orlando and Atlanta.
Cleveland's up there too.
Yeah. Do we lose our video? Do we
shouldn't be? Looks like it's up there, my brother.
All right. Something's wrong with my what I'm monitoring.
Oh,
I
okay.
apologize.
No problem.
So Orlando, as we said, and as the Magic fan knows, they're in. They gave up a lot to get Desmond Bane. They look at their talent and their inability to knock down shots last year, and they're addressing that. Like, here we go. We're in. Atlanta, they were in the play-in last year. They were something of a surprise team. They were my surprise team last year.
Atlanta?
I can't quite claim that because they were okay.
Okay.
But their star is Trae Young. They're not sure they want to commit to him.
True.
So it's kind of like, well, let's see how we do this year. So one team's like, we're all in. Atlanta's like, we might be pretty good, but we're not sure yet what we want to do. So big difference.
It is. But as much as they say that, I'll say this. It's the Kuminga situation, and they're different, completely different, right? But why haven't they done anything? And we've went over this in circles. We've had people come on and tell us, and people down that's locked in with the Hawks come on and tell us their objective of what's going on down there. But I mean, Trae Young, Dyson Daniels.
Well, Jalen Johnson got hurt last year, and that hurt him.
That's very true. Yeah. Absolutely. But they brought in Karis LeVert.
Mm-hmm.
They got Terrence Mann. I like
they have Okongwu.
Yeah, they got Okongwu. What's your thoughts on Risa Shea? Have you seen him enough to have a thought on him yet?
Well, coming up, we're going to look at a redraft of that draft that Sam Vicente did, which is interesting to see where he ends up. Another thing that's interesting is hearing Udonis Haslem trying to say Risa Shea's name today. I don't know if you caught that.
I saw that.
But, the big thing with the Hawks is the big fella coming in, Kristaps Porzingis.
Yeah.
When we come back.
Got to stay healthy.
Mm-hmm. He's not very good at that.
No. Kyle Draper.
I was thinking it. You said it, but I was thinking it. Yeah, we'll look at a redraft of 2024. Speaking of Risa Shea, where does Devin Carter end up in a redraft? We're back with that, along with more on the brand new schedule next. Sacktown Sports.
Hi, this is Greg Papa. Disasters hit every day. If your home, business, or building has suffered from any disaster, SunPoint Public Adjusters can help. SunPoint prepares, presents, and negotiates your claim with the insurance company, working only for you, making sure you get everything you're entitled to and letting your focus be on what's most important, your family or your business. Call SunPoint today at 888-247-7865 or contact us at sunpoint.us. SunPoint Public Adjusters, the gold standard in public adjusting.
License number 2N14884.
Let's go.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Kohl's Back to School sale is here with deals on looks your kids will love all year. Because even though they're sad summer is ending, let's be real, some of us are ready. It's time to trade the all-day PJs and always damp swimsuits for styles that'll keep up and hold up, so your kids will be ready too. Shop Kohl's Back to School sale and bring on the new year. Select styles, prices good through August 17th. Some exclusions apply. See store or kohls.com for details.
Around here, the summer can smack you silly, especially if your AC is not functioning at a high level. Whitey Gleason here. I had the opposite problem over the winter. System went down. It was panic time, but Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating saved the day. Let them save you from unnecessary summer misery. Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating, reliable, trustworthy. They do great work. They've won awards for their service. Check the reviews at leesair.com. Find out about their $99 HVAC tune-up service. Save your summer now. Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating on the web at leesair.com. License number 635355.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave. I got to tell you, I am so excited to get this decking project started with Trex Decking and Railings. From the first time I stepped foot in the showroom last week, I was so impressed. So many color options, heat-resistant composite deck. What does that mean? That means I don't have to do any maintenance on it whatsoever. They even have a deck designer, so you can go online and see what your dream deck will look like on your house. Just visit Trex, that's TREX.com to get it started. Tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
The Giant Summer Sale is here. Get giant savings on our Giant selection only at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Looking to own or lease? Save during the Honda Summer Event and drive a brand new Accord or Civic. See all our specials at FolsomLakeHonda.com.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our number one priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Folsom Lake Honda. Go to FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop.
There is no better duo. Nope. Never.
It's the Drive Guys.
Right here on Sacktown Sports.
A few moments ago, we were talking about the statistician training school. There's a course that's free Monday, and Mark Jones is involved, and so is Tim Roy. So, you know, it's legit. And so we mentioned that, and some people, or at least one person, has asked about the link. So I just, on X, I just retweeted what Tim Roy had tweeted. So you might want to, if you're interested, that's where you can find the information. It's free. It's 3 hours on Monday. Tim Roy says, you know, it might be an avenue into doing at least some work, like paid work in sports. So there you go. Statistician.
Love it. I think I might take it. Gotta look at my schedule. I might see what it's about. I'm always trying to learn, you know, when it comes to sports. It's a beautiful thing.
If we can't get Tim on, I don't know if he's busy. If he can, I know he will come on. Maybe Mark Jones will come on.
No doubt.
Yeah.
We get both.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
How about a text away?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think I know them too.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
I think you do.
Maybe.
I think you do. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Let's talk to Ashley. Ashley's been on hold here on this NBA schedule release day. Thanks for holding, Ashley. What can we do for you?
So I just had a quick question about the Kings and your thoughts on this. Recently I had watched some media regarding basketball that was saying that a lot of the teams that did best in recent seasons had high isolation numbers or rates and low passes, like low numbers of passes per game. With our shooting guard heavy roster and a lot of our isolation players like DeMar and Zach, do you think this is a roster that could end up working out together?
Well, thank you, Ashley. That's a tremendous question. I know that, Boston has had tremendous success, and they're a team that doesn't pass the ball a lot, and they play a lot of ISO stuff, and they shoot a ton of threes. I don't know where OKC came in on that, Ashley. Maybe you know. But your point is, to me, it's a fascinating one. Teams have had a lot of success playing ISO ball. The Kings tend to lean a little ISO heavy with two of their better players. So does that mean they can be as successful as teams like Boston? I don't think we're there yet. I don't think it's necessarily a stumbling block, but there's more to it than that. It has to start at the other end. For one thing, the Kings were so bad defensively last year, they didn't have a chance to do anything serious. And I'm not dodging your question, but offensively, they were think they were 9th in offensive rating last year. So again, I know this is cliche, but that wasn't the problem. They still need to be better offensively, but they have to do more defensively before it even matters. Whether they're running more ISO stuff or more warrior type stuff this year. It's also a great question because we don't know the answer as far as the system. I know that Domas had just said last week when he was at his camp, so, oh yeah, he talked about the new system and we're installing it and we're excited about it, which is great, but we don't know what it is.
Yeah.
We'll find out.
Yeah, I think we're going to all learn together.
Mm-hmm.
That's the great part about it. And I'll just throw a little sugar on top of that there, Whitey. When you're talking about OKC and you're talking about Boston, the last couple of champions here of the world when it comes to the NBA, there's no disrespect towards Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, Keegan Murray, Domantas Sabonis, and Dennis Schroeder, Malik Monk. But we're talking about Jason Tatum. We're talking about SGA. Those two players are for sure top 10 in the world.
Mm-hmm.
That's a little different.
You could probably win a number of different ways with that much talent.
Absolutely. And so I think if I'm following where you're going, Whitey, ISO for them is a little bit different because they're also surrounded by, it's proven at this point, and we don't know with the Kings, they're surrounded by great talent, and they've shown and proven that they can get, the job done. They can do, they can push the narrative to allow Jason Tatum and SGA the opportunity and time to do certain things that this team has not shown that they are capable of yet. And so it's really apples and oranges as much as, we're still playing under the apple tree, but it's a little different. We need this team to come together, and I'm actually opposed of the ISO ball. I'm opposed. I'm more, let's get back to passing the ball, sharing the rock more than ISO ball, because I don't see SGA on this roster.
Right. Yeah. It's a great point. I don't think the teams that won because they play more ISO stuff. No. It's not why they won, but to your point, Ashley, those teams have proven that there's more than one way to skin a cat. It's
absolutely.
Like the Warriors, they kind of revolutionized the game. They don't play ISO ball. That's one reason, I was going to mention, who that we said we weren't going to mention today. It's one reason he hasn't fit in there. So they won, but teams that don't play that way, Boston chief among them, they've also won. So it's just, you can win different ways, but you got to have the talent to do it.
Yeah, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but
and not only just the person that's being, because he threw out Boston and Boston and OKC. So I'm just guessing Tatum, Brown, and SGA. Look around the rest of that roster too. You got the 6 man over here. You got Chet and J-Dub, and there's some other things that is assisting that isolation.
I did notice last year in the playoffs when OKC in a close game, his fourth quarter and came down to crunch time. What did they do? It was like they gave it to Shea and got out of the way, and I was like, "That's DeMar DeRozan."
Yeah,
that's what the Kings
100%
at the end of games.
Very much so.
Mm-hmm.
Very much so.
Mm-hmm.
But confidence is key. When you're feeling good, as Deion say, you look good, you feel good, you play good.
Mm-hmm.
Last year, unfortunately for the Kings, there were some episodes and issues and aspects of the game that, they weren't looking good.
Yeah.
Which means they probably weren't feeling good.
Right.
Which related to they didn't play that well. So there's more to it than meets the eye, no doubt about it.
Yeah, thank you, Ashley. I'm going to look further into that. I think that's a great question. And by the time I look it up, you may have looked it up yourself, but that's an interesting question. To your point, Jay, about teams not feeling good, not looking good, we'll get back to the NBA here, but it just, as you're talking, I'm just reminded of the Giants. We're not going to talk a lot of baseball here, but
I thought we were talking about New York Giants.
No, you talk about the baseball Giants right now, and you watch them, and you almost feel sorry for them.
What?
You can just tell. No, because there's like,
come on.
Oh, they look terrible. They have no confidence. They have no belief. Willie Adama said yesterday, he said, it seems like we're finding that something goes wrong, and we just know there's nothing positive that's going to happen. So it happens to athletes in all sports. They get in that mindset of where it's just such a negative mindset. And when you don't believe in yourself or your team, you ain't going to win nothing.
Whitey, I'll repeat it one more time. Confidence is key.
Yes.
And when you're talking about competition, sports, I'm not telling you, I'm just speaking out here loud. It matters. It's as we say it, the half glass full, the half glass empty conversation. if you're approaching with the spirit, the emotion, the thought of like, nothing's going to happen, probably nothing's going to happen, because whatever it is, our circadian rhythm operates that way, you know? And if you're Keyshawn Johnson, we talked about him yesterday, my cousin, if you're all about, let's go do this, and you're energetic and great things are going to happen, and we're thinking positive thoughts, you know, whatever people like to say, karma, or, you know, you throw it out there in the atmosphere, whoever you see fit, more times than not, positive things come back in return.
Scott Perry's a big believer in a positive attitude.
Yes, he is. Yeah.
PMA, positive mental attitude.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Monday motivation, baby.
Yes.
I can't believe you sat up here and said you almost feel sorry, or you can't help but feel sorry for the Giants. You know what?
Did you see Ramos yesterday, that throw?
I'm not feeling sorry for him. You know why? Because I'm going to say like this, and I kid with that. I'm being honest here. I definitely feel, because I've been in the position of, you're doing everything you believe you can do on the field, and it's not happening, right? That part, no doubt about it. These are people. They're human beings. They are family. You know, that families, they're trying to support their team family, meaning, and play for the fans. You want to do the best that you possibly can. When it comes to that, I'm not kidding about that. I hate to see people be down in that form.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the Giants losing, man, Whitey, man, I don't even know how you wrapping your lips up to even say you feel sorry about the Giants.
Bob
losing.
Melvin, by the way, said it wasn't Ramos's fault. He said he was going to throw to second base, and there was nobody there. So he sees that, and then he
tried to hold it.
Yeah. So it's even worse in a way. It's like, no one's covering second base. That's worse than a guy spiking a throw.
Well, all I know is this. There are a lot of Giants fans just about 2 months ago, not even a month and a half ago, who were attacking me.
Jay's hoping the A's catch the Giants.
Remember, people were calling in, Jay, you're crazy.
Well, you took some shots at them, as I recall. It's not like you were minding your own business.
Listen.
Hey, let's talk about the Kings. Where are all these Giants fans coming from?
Whitey, come on, man. My uncle always used to say this. It's your story. I'm going to let you tell it. Let me tell my story, Whitey.
Okay.
The Giants fans were buzzing on the line. They were called 916-339-1148. Were all on my tailpipe. They were on the chateau. They were chastising me. They were holding up the 415 to the 510 banner.
Yeah.
You guys ought to be blessed and lucky you were even in our vicinity. Weren't they called? They were calling me all out my name. Like, man, I almost had to turn a blind eye to the Giants fans.
Yeah.
Now, all of a sudden, I look around at the text line. I look over at the Chateau, Whitey. The lines are quiet.
No Giants fans.
Man, you look at social network. Now all you see is this is a travesty. How could we get Devers and then we don't even make it to the playoffs wild card? Oh, I'm throwing down my colors. Now guess what they relive on? That's okay. We won in 2012. All right. Wasn't that the same thing they were accusing me of when I said, well, guess what? We have more World Series than you do, champ. Oh, you're living in the past. You're not talking about the president. Oh, my goodness. Won't you live with this banner? Take that green Sellers shirt. I heard it all. I walk out in the community. Whitey people, throwing stuff at me. You know, I have
really,
no clue.
Jay?
Yeah.
Throwing stuff
my
at
story, Whitey.
Giants fans throwing stuff at Jay.
Oh, man, how could you like the Niners and don't like the Giants? I try to tell them, oh, man, you need to go be a Raider fan. Now they want me to get kicked out the state and all of that.
Wow. Looks like maybe you'll have the last laugh. Maybe.
Well, we're laughing together.
Still got a little pizza left in that box.
No, it's not. Stop giving these Giants fans hope, Whitey. It is over.
No, I'm just talking about them finishing stronger.
It is over.
I know that. You got that right. Yeah, we'll look
That's
at
a Padre fan taking up for the Giants, man. What has the world come to?
You forced me to do it.
You're right.
You forced me. Somebody's got to take that side of it.
You're right.
2024 NBA redraft. Where would Devin Carter end up? We'll see what Sam Vecini thinks when we come right back to Sacktown Sports.
The Allen Styles Show.
Are the Kings the one team in the league that could actually benefit from one of their players having a podcast? Malik, it would probably be Malik, even though he's in all these dang trade rumors. Wouldn't it be nice if you heard stories about the Kings.
You can listen to the Allen Style Show Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. on 1140 a.m., YouTube, and the Sacktown Sports app.
Carmichael Dave here for my friends at American Energy Heating and Air. Yes, I always tell you they are a family-owned operation, been in business since 81, A-plus Better Business Bureau, but it is hot. We are in those Sacramento hot months. I want to focus on them being your second opinion partner. What does that mean? Maybe you've got somebody you're working with or you've worked with in the past in the HVAC world. Guess what? They want to give you a second opinion. How much does it cost? Nothing. You call them up and say, hey, can I get a second opinion on this deal? They come out and they either say, wow, that's a great deal, you should feel better about that. Or they say, we can beat that price. And usually they're going to beat it by a lot. Guess what? You just saved money and it didn't cost you anything to find out. It's a no-lose situation. Go with a trusted company. American Energy, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. Jingle singers, take it away.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Ooh, ma. What was that? That is business phone bliss with the Ooma Cloud phone system. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs. You sound very calm. I am. Ooma has everything I need to run my business more efficiently, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees. Ooma. Nice. Find your business comm at ooma.com/radio.
I'm Matt Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Your car steering wheel could be a ticking time bomb. At least 24 people have died and many more injured because their airbags fired shrapnel at them upon inflating. Tens of millions of cars have been recalled. If you suffered cuts that required stitches, hearing or vision loss, or broken bones, please contact us today. You could be owed money for medical bills and other damages.
Morgan & Morgan. Visit us at badairbags.com for an office near you. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just one cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here. Based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025, Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at tmobile.com.
With 25 award-winning years in Northern California, Ashton & Price is your local injury law firm. Pro attorney tip: if a firm presents as local, but they're in LA, red flag. If your first consultation is not with a lawyer, big red flag. At Ashton & Price, your first consult is with a local attorney, and if serious injury prevents travel, a lawyer will come to you. Still not enough? George Washington's my uncle. At Ashton & Price, no red flags, just red, white, and blue.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
People are coming from all over to Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, from Folsom, Elk Grove, Woodland, Roseville, because they've seen for themselves the huge selection and the best prices at SacSuperstore.com. Good luck finding a lower price anywhere else. And if you do, they'll match it. It's as simple as that. Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, where a handshake still means something. Open until 10 o'clock and centrally located right across from Hagen Oaks Golf Course. And online at SacSuperstore.com. The guaranteed lowest price and the best selection of Dodge, Chrysler, Jeeps, and Rams. SacSuperstore.com.
High voltage live boxing action returns to the venue on September 6th as Uppercut Promotions presents Thunder Showdown with 6 big fights on the bill, featuring local lightweight standout Kyle Lockenlolly, who enters the ring undefeated. And don't miss a big heavyweight showdown with Chinese heavyweight Junglong Singh and Sacktown's own Vikas Diaw. Thunder Showdown coming September 6th to the venue at Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Tickets available at Ticketmaster. Fight card subject to change.
Your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
With the new NBA schedule released, here's a handy viewing guide tip from Mark Stein, because we've got the new broadcast package kicking in this season. Sunday games will be on ABC, NBC, and Peacock. Monday games on Peacock. Tuesday games this year, NBC and Peacock. Wednesday, ESPN. Thursday, Amazon Prime. I'm going to miss the TNT games on Thursday. Friday, Prime and ESPN, then Saturday, Prime and ABC. As far as the Kings go, the Kings will have 5 NBC games this year, 1 ESPN game, 1 Amazon Prime game, and 2 games on Peacock. Where are you? Somebody told me once that's what a peacock sounds like. You ever hear a peacock?
Mm-hmm.
Who are you?
A little bit.
Mm-hmm. We used to have those in Vallejo. Weird animals out of Blue Rock Springs.
Okay, weird animals.
Just weird with the feathers with the eyes on them. You know what I'm talking about? Peacocks have those feathers that have eyes on them.
I think most people say it's beautiful.
Yeah.
You know, that's not where you're going.
It is. It's pretty weird. Those ESPN games, excuse me, the NBC games I meant to say. You've got some home games here, including November 11th, 8 p.m. start.
Love it.
They play the Clippers December 30th on NBC. That's at LA. That's an 8 o'clock start. Home January 6th, Dallas, 8 p.m. start.
Love it.
And then in March 3rd and March 17th, home games against the Suns and the Spurs, 8 p.m. start.
Absolutely love it. Why? You know who doesn't love it, who doesn't like it, are the people on the East Coast. We hear it all the time. Oh, man, especially football. How you guys start? Drapes talks about it.
Yeah.
10 o'clock, I can't get a lunch in. I can't get my adult beverage and all. Man, it's wall-to-wall football all day,
Right,
West Coast.
right.
So a lot of East Coast NBA media, a lot of the NBA circles, you're asking those guys to stay up even longer now for the 8 o'clock starts.
The rest of the story, according to my sources, which is Alan Stiles,
okay,
this is going to be part of a triple header on NBC where the first game starts at our time, 2 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
Then a game at 5 o'clock our time, so 8 o'clock Eastern. So it's to have a 5 and then an 8 and then an 11 o'clock game back east. So I think for a lot of people, Jay, that last game that the Kings are playing, that'll be almost like I'm not going to watch 3 games. I already watched 2.
It kind of 2 o'clock game here doesn't really work for us for the most part. So
it does not.
Yeah, it's kind of like you're giving the East Coast their 5 o'clock game, and you're giving us our prime time game. So we'll be dialed in more on the 8 o'clock. Yeah.
Everybody gets something at one end or the other. Maybe that's what they're trying to do.
Someone, the great Pete Youngman, the legendary Pete Youngman, he tweeted out today, as NBA released the schedule, talked about it, says, it's really funny that people think the league is out to screw their team with the schedule. Every team has tough stretches, long trips, and tough back-to-backs. No need to overanalyze. 41 home, 41 away.
Yes.
Go play the games.
Mm-hmm.
If you're successful, you earn a playoff spot. Enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
Love it.
Yeah.
Just simple. That's how you get it. As much as we do a lot of breakdown, games are still to be played.
The NBA has a lot more cachet than it used to have, a lot more pull, especially in cases where the team owns the building. But in some cases, it comes down to, is the building available or not? You know, when they pick the dates. It's not like, we're going to stick it to this team. It's like, well, you got Disney on Ice is there that night. You can't play that night, whatever it is.
The princesses.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we see
Sounds
it here.
Like you've seen it, Jay.
Oh yeah, man. My daughter for many moons was a fan.
Yeah.
So absolutely.
I went to it once. It's been a while though.
Yeah, it's been a minute for me too. I normally give those tickets away. Shouts out to my nieces and family friends and my adopted nieces. They normally pilfer Uncle Jay for those tickets at this point. But we see it here with the Golden One Center. We have state of the art situation. We got so many concerts, so many things at sporting events, monster trucks, and just so many things that happen here at the G1C. That schedule was tight sometimes.
Yeah,
absolutely.
This is from Sam Viceni in The Athletic. He does a redraft of the 2024 NBA draft, which I mentioned because Devin Carter's in there, and Devin Carter obviously has been something that we've talked about, a player we've talked about a lot since the end of last season. So here's the way Sam Viceni runs it down. And Devin Carter was the 14th pick in that draft.
Yeah.
Let's see where he is in this redraft. Again, just one man's opinion, but it's a very informed opinion. Number 1, he says if it were to be done over again, Stephon Castle, who actually was 4th, would be 1. He says Risa Shea, who was number 1, would actually be number 2. Jared McKinney has 3rd. His actual pick was 16th. Reed Shepard, 4th, actual pick 3, which is pretty high for a guy that really haven't played much, huh?
Yeah. 13th pick for Devin Carter. Just popped him on.
13th. Thank you. Donovan Clingan, he has him going 5th, actual pick 7th. Not much difference there. Buzelis, he has him going 6th when he was actually picked 11th.
Yeah.
Ron Holland, 7th. He was actually picked 5th. Zach Edey goes 8th in the mock draft. He was actually picked 9th.
Yeah.
Jalen Wells, actual pick 39th in the redraft.
Dang.
He's the 9th pick.
Stand up, Sacramento.
Yeah, absolutely. Swing and a miss by just about everybody in the league.
Sacramento.
Kel Ware, Miami Heat goes 10th.
A lot of people wanted him here, huh?
Yes, a lot of people. You're right. Yeah. Alex Sarr was the number 2 pick in this mock. He goes 11th. This redraft.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. AJ Mitchell was picked 38th. He goes 12th here.
That's interesting. That is interesting.
Keyshawn George of the Wizards actually picked 24th, goes 13th here.
Okay.
14th, Nikola Topic, OKC. He was actually picked 12th. And then he's got Filipowski of the Jazz, who was picked 32nd, going 15th. Then it goes Bub Carrington,
Washington,
Terrence Shannon, Tristan Da Silva, Isaiah Collier, and Ryan Dunn. Those are the top 20.
Okay.
Devin Carter not selected in this redraft.
Well, to be understood for me. Like that, to me, I don't take that as being negative because he came into the season with an injury. All those guys played. All those guys were healthy. All those guys had an opportunity. But let's do it again after this year. And I know, look, it's the summer, people doing creating different type of topics. I don't really take anything from that because Devin Carter played for a couple of months.
Yeah, here's what Sam Vecini says about Devin Carter. In the other section, Devin Carter's the first player listed. He says, I'm still a believer in Devin Carter because of his defense and toughness, but I'm worried that the 13th pick's jump shot looks hitchy and messy at Summer League after his July 24th left shoulder surgery. Pardon me. Hitchy and messy. That was a Good Morning show. I don't know if you ever heard it.
No,
Hitchy and
I
messy show. That you could use those 2 words to describe a lot going on with the Kings these days. A little hitchy, little messy. But I went back after I read that, Jay, because I'm a Devin Carter guy. He plays so hard and he hasn't gotten a chance. That he was picked 13th. So I went back and looked at some of his film from when he was still in college. His jump shot was never like textbook, and there aren't. There's some really good shooters that aren't textbook, but it's definitely different than it looks now, to my eye. Since the surgery, it's got that little hitch in it, and he's been working on it, and he's shot the ball well at times. In summer league, he can still make it. And Drapes and I used to see him all the time. He'd come out early last year before the games to work out. He's working on the shot, but it is, to my eye, it's a little different than it was before that surgery.
Well, it's about habits, habituals, making it habitually shot the same way. It's going to take time. Shoulder injury, and I don't know if you've known anyone who have shoulder surgery. I've known, it's crazy. I think as I'm sitting here, I know about 4 or 5 people who have had shoulder surgery. It is nothing to play with.
Sure.
They put pain blockers and things like that on your shoulder. I just ran into someone, and it escapes me who it is, but they had shoulder surgery, and they're like, I had like a drip into my arm, to help me, assist me with the pain. It is something I won't compare it to, but I'll say this: I fractured my finger, and I had to have surgery on my finger last year, and it's still not 100%. And you can go to physical therapy and all these different things. It's just not the same. It doesn't, it's, I got the Ronnie Lott going on. It's not straight as it was, but it's going to take time. It's going to take a little bit of extra care, a little bit of more opportunity for Devin Carter to get out there. And, oh man, I forgot to tell you, I didn't send it to you because I was like, oh, my guy Whitey's going to be upset. But remind me to tell you about that real quick. But we talked to Law Murray yesterday. Seems like he's doing decently right now in the summer. We got to see him in summer league. It's one of those things that's going to take time. If Lonzo Ball can change his hitch, then Devin Carter can change his hitch.
Yeah. He's just so explosive, and he gets to the basket so well. He still needs that threat of the three-point shot to balance that out. I think he can be a really good player if he can find that. And he showed signs of it during the summer. Just looks a little, I agree, hitchy and messy, but if it goes in, it doesn't matter. It's
doesn't
like
matter.
Law Murray was saying on X. He said, he shoots and you don't think it's going to go in, but it usually does.
Yeah, it's high arcing. What did he say? I've seen that ball hit the top of the roof in certain places.
Some gyms.
Yeah, some gyms. There you go. Yeah.
So what am I going to be upset about?
Yeah, they got
to come back to that.
And I mean, I can tell you right now. You want to wait till next segment?
We'll have that coming back.
Okay.
And we got Chris Myers coming up too.
We do.
Yeah. From NFL on Fox. Drive Guys, Sacktown Sports.
The Drive Guys.
From the 925, Braun has not lived up to his end of the bargain. Fake bubble ring is a joke.
Is that Daryl Morey's burner?
Would you want LeBron to join Sabonis to finish his career where he started?
Kings fans, would they want LeBron right now? Right now.
You can listen to The Drive Guys Monday through Friday from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. on 1140 a.m., YouTube, and the Sacktown Sports app.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey, everybody, it's Kyle Draper from Mercedes-Benz of Stockton, and let me tell you about the great deals they have going on right now. You can receive up to $9,500 in bonus cash when you lease select models. Not interested in a lease? How about a certified pre-owned vehicle? That's right. They have low rates for up to 36 months, or maybe you're looking to buy brand new. Well, they got you covered when it comes to that as well. And if you're looking for an electric vehicle, well, check out their deals on e-sprinters. Take it from me. I'm now rolling in the finest ride I've ever had. I'm driving the all-new electric EQS SUV. I don't have to worry about filling my tank at all. It's a long-range vehicle, and not only do I love it, my family loves it as well. So take it from me, Kyle Draper. Mercedes-Benz of Stockton is where you want to go to buy your new vehicle. They believe that when you buy the finest car in the world, you deserve the best car buying experience you'll ever have. They're just a short drive down I-5 or online anytime at mbfstockton.com.
Kohl's back to school sale is here with deals on looks your kids will love all year. Because even though they're sad summer is ending, let's be real, some of us are ready. It's time to trade the all-day PJs and always damp swimsuits for styles that'll keep up and hold up, so your kids will be ready too. Shop Kohl's back to school sale and bring on the new year. Select styles, prices good through August 17th. Some exclusions apply. See store or kohls.com for details.
Progressive's Teen Driver discount could lower the cost of insurance for your teenager and save you some money. And then you can still spend money on them. Because just when you think you have a grasp on spending, new sneakers. And then it's money for a school field trip. And of course, spending money. Oh yeah, and a new phone to replace the one they dropped in the toilet. Oh, don't remind me. So just get Progressive's Teen Driver discount. And then you can continue to spend money on them endlessly. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Discount not available in all states and subject to terms and conditions.
Discover Terra Madre Americas, one of the world's most exciting food events, coming to Northern California for the first time this September 26th through 28th. Dig into good, clean, and fair food for all with chefs Alice Waters, Sean Sherman, and Jeremiah Tower. Hear music from The War on Drugs, Spoon, Big Head Todd and the Monsters, Jade Bird, and Passion Pit Solo Acoustic. Savor the journey of Terra Madre Americas, only in Sacramento. Details on TerraMadreUSA.com. Terra Madre Americas is supported by Sacramento International Airport and brought to you by Slow Food and Visit Sacramento.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sacktown Sports 1140. Live and local, it's The Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
Yeah, Chris Myers is going to join us, NFL on Fox, and we're still digesting the brand new schedule. Really interesting question here about the schedule on the text line. Happy to clarify as best we can here. From the 209. Am I to believe that not all games will be aired on TV? If I'm wrong, please correct me. I thought the new TV deal killed local broadcast. No, there still will be local telecasts. But to be honest with you, last year, the last few years, when there was a game on TNT, we did not get a local broadcast. Well, there are no more games on TNT. You have NBC games. So will there be local telecasts when the games are on NBC? I'm not sure, Jay.
Yeah, I talked to Drapes about that, and he wasn't 100% sure. The broadcaster meetings are coming up next month in September, and all that basically entails are all the NBA teams, they send their broadcasters. So we send our Mark Jones, our Kyle Drapers, our Jason Ross, our G-Man, our HT. They go out to New York and they get briefed on what's going to happen. And then on top of that, now that the schedule is out, Kyle Draper and NBC Sports California, they'll have an opportunity, and Mark Jones and Katie Christensen, they'll go over, the schedules and where they'll be. But at the moment when I asked him, they didn't know what game was going to replace the TNT games.
Yeah.
Was it NBC? Was it Amazon? How they were going to operate.
Right. So we don't know that yet, but it is not true that the local telecasts are going away. The new TV deal did not kill the local telecast.
No, far from.
Yeah, in fact, and as Jay pointed out, if you look at the printable schedule for the Kings at the bottom, it has Sacktown Sports and it has NBC Sports California.
Yeah,
the
peacock.
Mm-hmm.
The color.
Some confusion, but you don't need to worry about that.
Yeah. I mean, as we learn, as we move forward, just like the person from the 209, we're still learning what national game will replace TNT, but it sounds like it's the NBC game. It sounds like if you are part of the NBC broadcast, you probably won't see Mark Jones or Kyle Draper or Katie Christensen.
Yeah. And again, there's 5 NBC games for the Kings, 1 on ESPN, 1 on Amazon Prime, and 2 on Peacock.
Prime.
Which means you got to have Peacock to watch those games, right?
Well, you got it because football anyway. So don't even sit back in your chair and act like you're not watching no Peacock.
Do we have Peacock? We have Peacock.
You have it. Yeah, because we've had this discussion.
Yeah. I believe it's going up, though.
I will say this: my wife pays Peacock, so I don't even know. I'm not the biggest streaming guy and keep up with all the memberships and all that, man. Just tell me how much it costs.
I'll have to get that information for you.
Yeah. I mean, who has that type of time in their life to worry about? Well, Peacock costs this and Amazon. I'm like Draper. I'm just paying for it at this point. I don't even know what's going on.
Yeah, Ray Ratto made a great point when he was nice enough to join us last week, where he said people have been cutting the cord to save money, and now there's so many streaming services that you have to pay for. You might have to reattach the cord to save money because you're spending more money.
The cable company. It's true. It is a conversation that I kid with Kyle Draper because he's like, dude, I'm paying for this person's Netflix and that person's Netflix. I did have this conversation with my wife. I said, we couldn't HBO, we couldn't this, and we couldn't we are getting close to paying cable prices. And we talked about it last year with football and I just saw this on basketball. I think I sent it to us in our text message. If you want to watch every single football game this year, it's going to cost you over $1,000.
What?
Yeah. Because you got to get the red zone and you have to get the package and then,
Oh, so you're counting the NFL, the season ticket.
Absolutely.
Okay.
You got to get all of it if you want to watch every single game. Then Peacock, then Amazon, then ESPN, and then who else am I missing? CBS and Fox is local, NBC game. There's so many different avenues to watch a football game now. NFL Network, which they're not, but that's a lot of places to be spending money. And it's, $29.99, $13.99, $19.99, and you look up, you're like, damn.
Yeah.
I'm spending $299.
Someday, when we have time, I'll have to tell you the story about this. Might have been the last time I had the Sunday ticket. And
you write it off?
Tried, but wasn't able to. And they came out and because I had moved, so it was in a different place. So they came out. I was like, can you come out? The games are Sunday. They came out during the games on opening day of the NFL season. I'm like, finally, they're here. They come out and they're going to install the dish and get everything set up. And they go, sir, yeah, you got it set up? No, there's a hornet's nest under your roof and we can't go up there. So I just got a ladder. I was in such a hurry and I just got the hose and I said, Get out of the way. I'm just gonna knock it down with a hose, which you really shouldn't do. You should be more careful about that. I did that, but then there was another problem with the wiring, and they never did get it for another week or so. They didn't get that dish up, and it was just crushed. It was like, the games are on now. I have to watch the games now. Can you please install the dish? And it just wasn't to be. Speaking of the NFL games, NFL on Fox legend Chris Myers is going to join us in just a moment. Long time national sports broadcaster. He's been doing a lot of 49er games the last few years. He's done baseball. I think he's even done dog shows. He's done it all. So Chris Myers is going to join us in just a moment here as we continue to digest the Kings' brand new schedule as well today. A lot going on. Here's the way the Kings' schedule breaks down. Let's see here. Their longest homestand, 7 games in 11 days. And by day, the schedule breaks down as follows. They got, I'm not going to give you the by day. Schedule by month, schedule breakdown by month. Are we ready to go? Yeah, okay. We'll get to that as well here. But first, nice enough to join us, as I told you, national sports broadcasting legend. He's done a lot of 49er games in recent years. It's a pleasure to welcome Chris Myers to the show. How are you today, Chris?
I'm good. Thanks for having me on. Hope you guys are fired up for football. It's good to have the NFL back.
Absolutely. Is it true, Chris? Did you actually do a talk show on the radio when you were 16 years old?
That is true.
Wow.
I used to call in and disguise my voice as a young teenager, and they ended up hiring me. I would, you're supposed to only call a radio show like once a night or what.
Yeah.
So I would be Chris from Miami, and then I'd disguise my voice and call back as Duke from North Miami so I could get on, and I'd agree with my earlier call. And eventually that got me hired while I was in high school. So I got a Saturday radio show that I would do as kind of a college football scoreboard show while I was still in high school and helped work my way through college. That's how it all kind of unraveled.
That's incredible.
I had no clue. So, Whitey, I had an opportunity to work with Chris at Fox.
Sure.
I was there for a long time, and Chris is ultra professional. But one of the things I loved about Chris is we had, and I'm peeling back the curtain a little bit to kind of spin off what you're doing. When I was on NFL on Sunday, we had play-by-play or color or sideline reporter call into us. So if you were early game, during the early window, we would have the late game play-by-plays call in and vice versa. And Chris was one of the people who actually always picked up his phone and or called in, right? And so I used to always, like, one of my things where as we were going down the list, and I'm not calling anybody out, I always said, that's a legendary figure. He is someone that is dependable.
Yeah.
And so it's interesting. It was already in his teaching, his education. You were already around radio for a long time, Chris. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's in my roots, and actually Mike Tirico and I actually kind of started ESPN radio at one point, and then Fox Sports Radio was also, I kind of started that with I think Andrew Siciliano was on there. There's a few different people, so it's always throughout the TV portion. I've always felt it was important because you have a lot of time, and I really learned at a young age how to do interviews and how to call games and interact with people. It is, by the way, I have a book out that came out last year called That Deserves a Wow. And I talk about, Bill Murray, wrote the foreword for it because we big sports fan, but it talks about some big moments that I've covered through ESPN and Fox, but it does talk a little bit about my humble beginnings in radio, which I really appreciated because it helped open the door to later television and some of the other things.
That's tremendous. Thanks for sharing that. What do you think of the 49ers chances here? I know you've done a lot of 49er games in recent years, and a lot of fans are not sure what to expect this year. They drafted a lot of young guys that got to have an impact on the defensive side of it. They've got a number of injuries. They only won 6 games last year. How reasonable is it from your standpoint to expect the 49ers to get anywhere close to what they were before last year?
Well, to have that, that championship knocking on the door Super Bowl standard, I'm not sure about that, but I do know every year, there is a team that finished last in the division the year before that comes back, and there's a number of factors and gets into the playoffs or wins the division or challenges. And that last place schedule, I was going over that when I knew we were going to be on, and I think it's very workable. I mean, other than the Buccaneers and the 49ers match up well against them when they've played, and teams in the division, it's a very favorable schedule. And look, I know the defense will have, you might have as many as half the guys will be new starters, but they drafted, I think, the top 5 picks We're all defense. And I like the return of Robert Saleh. He was always miscast with the Jets. It was a bad move for him and for them. He's where he belongs, and I think Kyle Shanahan's more comfortable. So there'll be some growing pains in that area, but he'll get the most out of the defense that he can, and you still have some key guys there to lead that defense. But I like the offense as long as they're healthy. And McCaffrey's healthy, and I know right now the receiver position is beat up. You got to Brandon Ayuk has to just give them more. I mean, and be healthy. I mean, Kittle put up incredible numbers last year again from the tight end position. I'm glad they brought back Juszczyk. He's quietly important to the you get Trent Williams if he's blocking. So and Purdy got the contract. I think he can only get better as he gets more and more experienced. So the receiver position, Pearsall has an upside. They need to beef that up a little bit, or defenses will fold and crunch on McCaffrey in the running game. But they always run the ball well with Kyle Shanahan. So I'm not just saying this. I think the division, I wouldn't say, I think they can make the playoffs, and I think the Rams have to worry about the health of Matthew Stafford. Otherwise, they're probably going to be the favorite in the division. And then the Seahawks, the quarterback position with Sam Darnold, and Kyler Murray has Arizona, so they'll be pesky as division opponents. But I think it's a Ram 49er division again, despite what we went through. When I say we, meaning injuries for the 49ers last year. And if they're healthier out of the box, right now the receiver position is, and there's a few others. But I think you could expect at least a playoff contender and a turnaround from last year for the most part.
Did you hear that, Jay? Chris Myers with us. Yeah. You talk about how professional he is. He says he prepared for this interview. We're not used to talking to people, Chris, who prepare for the interviews.
Well, the great thing about Chris, again, he's legendary, legendary status. I guarantee if I asked him a NASCAR question, he'd probably know it now, racing car, off the head. Chris, you talked about
IndyCar, by the way. I did the Indianapolis 500, which is a lot of fun. It's the title's already clinched with Alex Palou from Spain, and his third straight. He'll get the trophy in a couple of weeks in Nashville, which will be a special IndyCar moment. But we'll stay on football for a moment. Right?
See what I mean, Chris? You talked about the division being kind of a Niner and a Ram-led division here. Expanded a little bit more, because around here we're talking about, what could be the druthers of the 49er season. I mean, albeit we're not predicting the Super Bowl, just in a perfect world, break out your crystal ball. How far do you think this team could move forward? And I know I'm asking you, something that's extra early.
Yeah, and they could go right, and things can happen over the last few weeks with players in the preseason and injuries, and to other teams too in the division. But I look at the schedule, having gone through, and I don't have it in front of me right now, but I just think that offense with Purdy, they were high ranked last year, even with all the injuries and the problems at running back, and so that's why I think they can contend. And when I look at the other, I think the other players in the division, the other coaches, it's still Seattle, they're stepping forward. I think they're a well-coached, good defensive team. Gannon in Arizona with Kyler Murray, people around the league have said, look, he has a lot of talent, but you can't trust him in big situations. And I know he can be a superstar 1 minute and then be kind of out of the picture in the next moment. I thought Marvin Harrison Jr. and him would be a lot more productive. I don't know how much they'll click in the future. I don't see those teams better than the 49ers, again, healthy, or the Rams if Stafford's he's got a lower in his back problem that has kind of kept him out. And look, a couple of years left. I mean, the Rams considered with his contract maneuver before this, trading him and maybe trying to bring in Aaron Rodgers. So, they realize that as great as Stafford has been, that he's on the backside of his career, whereas Brock Purdy has put up good numbers and is on the upside of his career. So, double-digit wins, I think absolutely. Super Bowl, probably not for the 49ers, but the NFC, it's really wide open. I mean, talk about the Eagles trying to repeat. If you look at the big picture, I think the North with the Lions and the Vikings, obviously they're an improved, even Green Bay, that's top to bottom, another strong division like the West. But you just never know if you get on a roll. And I think the 49ers, you have to get used to that high standard not being quite there for a Super Bowl team, as you said. But they certainly have the players and enough of the experienced players who have been there before, and they're not so old that they're going to be out of the picture.
That's, of course, Chris Myers, NFL on Fox. Chris, I wanted to ask you about your time with Kyle Shanahan. I know that's part of the game prep. Kyle Shanahan is a fascinating figure around here. He came in and he's very influential when it comes to the directions of offenses in the NFL. and took the team from they were the dregs of the league, and then they were on the cusp of winning the Super Bowl, but he hasn't won the Super Bowl yet. So of course there are some fans getting a little impatient. My question, and maybe there's nothing here, but he seems pretty unique as football coaches go. Is there anything that stands out to you about your pregame discussions with him, maybe that you see as a little different from the way other coaches handle these things?
Yeah, well, no, it's a great. I'm glad you brought that up, because I've said before on other shows, and you, as you said earlier, I called a lot of 49er games early when he first took over the team, and really when they weren't that good, and slowly, watched him build what he built, and you could see when he was an offensive coordinator in Atlanta and other stops. That he had something, especially when we sat with him in meetings. We call them the production meetings, where the broadcast crew, right? There's no cameras or recordings, and it's some things are off the record, some things are on, but they communicate to us so that we and our directors have an idea of the best way to bring the broadcast to fans. And some coaches are very guarded, they don't trust, but over time, if they feel like they can tell you things and you haven't burned them or their team, then they tell you more. And Kyle Shanahan was one of those who was in cover, even though I was on the other sideline in the Kansas City Super Bowl covering that game for Fox. We did spend time at practice. We spent time with him, and he's one of the best. And I'm not just saying this because we're out of the Bay Area or whatever, but he's one of the most honest, straightforward. He'll, for example, he told us, and I won't use the player's name because violate the trust. This was a few years back, but he said, "Hey, if you see this guy in the game, don't expect him to catch a pass because he's afraid to go over the middle." Okay, so just don't waste don't waste a shot on you put your camera on him. It's like, I mean, he was really that helpful, and our analyst, and it could have been Daryl Johnston at the time or Mark Schlereth, I forget who it was exactly, but they appreciate those kinds of things. It makes us all a little more aware to help the audience. But I mean, a lot of coaches will tell you that, and our trust, just like he'll tell you some really good things about players. Hey, if this guy gets in the game, you watch, we may do this with a blitz or something because he's so fast. He can get around whoever they put out there. And so it makes us look smarter and allows us to do our job a lot better. And I like that he's just straightforward and honest about it. And he'll admit when he's made mistakes or why he did something that didn't turn out the way it did, and takes responsibility when he doesn't have to with us. But that's you can tell with his dad, Mike Shanahan, that's the kind of coach he is, and the influence he's had from other coaches or people in the league.
Joined by Chris Myers of NFL on Fox. Chris
Myers is killing it.
Yeah,
man.
Come on, man. Legend in the game, brother. Chris, you have the Bucks Steelers, I believe, tomorrow too. Talking about quarterbacks throughout the league, just opposites.
He does the Bucks. He's a Bucks guy, during the preseason. He does Bucks.
Yeah,
games.
right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
With Rondé Barber.
With our Barber, I was going to say, with Hall of Famer, right? What Baker Mayfield, Aaron Rodgers, I don't want to say they're going in the opposite directions, but it sure feels like that. Just your overall intake on the game that you got tomorrow.
Yeah, no, I think you're right about that. I mean, Aaron's a lot older, but and his numbers actually weren't that bad. I got to call a Jet game of his last year when he and Devontae Adams hooked up, but overall, again, the wear and tear on Rodgers, not the guy he once was. He's certainly better than what the Steelers have had at quarterback since Ben Roethlisberger left, and they think he's going to put him over the top. I don't think their defense is, yes, T.J. Watt's outstanding, but they haven't had that Steeler defense that's a difference maker like they had when Ben was there. So, and Rodgers, it's just been a little awkward since he left Green Bay, whereas Baker Mayfield has revitalized a career. I mean, a former number 1 overall pick. Remember, he did get Cleveland to the playoffs, and then he admitted that he had to grow a little and understand his role. And once he got kicked off the top of the mountain and was kind of looking for work in Carolina, and the Rams gave him a shot. It was a unique marriage with the Bucs looking for a replacement after Tom Brady, and they said, "Hey, you come to us and we'll work with you." And he worked really hard to not just the physical parts of the quarterback role, but his own, what he learned on. He's still not all that old, depending upon age compared to Rodgers and playing that quarterback position. So I think he's really in a happy place, and he's taken the Bucs. They've played well against teams like the Eagles and the Lions. They've won playoff games. In fact, the Buccaneers, this is their 50th anniversary. We all remember the early struggling years, and of course that Super Bowl team that had the great defense when they beat the Raiders. But the last 5 years, they've been one of the top teams in the NFL. It's been their best 5-year stretch in their history, and that includes the Brady Super Bowl win. But they're right up there in terms of wins with Kansas City, the 49ers, some of those top-tier teams that the Bucs don't get mentioned because they just, they haven't been as much on national television. I guess Brady helped with that. So they're the real deal. And their defense slipped a little, and that's Todd Bowles' specialty. So if they get that right, and they've got some players that they added Hassan Reddick, they're trying to correct that, then I think they'll go a little further in the playoffs. And everybody thinks they play in a weak division. That's why they get in the playoffs. But they've advanced in the playoffs. They just haven't made it to the Super Bowl. Not yet with Baker, but I wouldn't be shocked if that happens somewhere before his playing career wraps up.
Great, Chris Myers. Chris, we appreciate your time. Before we let you go, you've already taken us behind the scenes on your early days in broadcasting and talking with Kyle Shanahan. I have to ask you, as a dog lover,
you're going to ask him the question I was going to ask him.
Really?
Westminster, baby.
Yeah. Could you take us behind the scenes of the broadcasting and the production for the Westminster Dog Show? Is there a story or maybe a couple that kind of sum up what it's been like for you to broadcast for that?
Well, I'm a dog lover. Always had a dog growing up, and my wife family does a lot of animal dog rescue for other people. But we've never really shown dogs in that. I mean, they can be mutts, or, mixtures, whatever. As long as you love them, they have a home. But the dog show is a lot, and I say this respectfully because I enjoy the Westminster Kennel Club Dog Show, and this year's the 150th live from Madison Square Garden. But it really is a lot like the movie Best in Show behind the scenes. I mean, they really did hit on it. I think even people there, they're like, "Oh yeah, that's us." I'm like, okay. So but they're so focused. They're like some coaches who live in it. They're so focused on their dogs and their role that even the analysts I work with sometimes, they'll say something like, "Oh, this particular dog, the Whippet, finished, I'll say, hey, Whippet, good." And they'll go, "No, this one really wasn't all that good. This one was, third on the, there'll be a contending dog, and his name is this dog is one of the, it just got into the finals, and his name is Cuervo." And I'll say, "Yeah, so he's got a shot." And they'll go, "No, not really, but at least he's one of the contenders." So I'm entertained. I don't know if they are, but they're focused on doing their job, and I try to have a little fun with my job. But I really do love it. I mean, and the animals are the dogs are the stars. They're the stars of the show, and just putting a camera on them is usually entertaining enough.
Chris, you've had the opportunity of football, basketball, racing, so many different things, host shows, be a part of shows. When they called you, when Fox obtained the rights, did you put your name in the hat? Did the agent get that? Did the head of Fox give you a call? Like, how did that come about?
Well, that's funny because I just said, "Did we get that?" I said, "We got the dogs." I said, that'd be fun because I saw the movie Best in Show, and I said, "I can't," I said, "like that at all?" I don't know. I said, "But that'd be fun to do. I love being around dogs." And they're like, "All right, you got it. Good luck." And so. And I think it's been 7 or 8 years, and it's we've really enjoyed doing it. They're big, as I said, 150th coming up, and you watch the bidding rights for that will probably go through the roof. I don't know who's gonna. It could be on Netflix after this year. I don't know. So we'll see.
That's tremendous. Thank you so much for your time, Chris. We appreciate it, and we look forward to seeing you again soon on the TV.
Yeah, anytime. Thanks for the fun conversation. Enjoy the football season. I'll see you guys later. Take care.
Thank you. Yes. Wow, Jay. Thank you for lining up. Chris Myers, that went a number of ways, and they were all a lot of fun. Thank you, Jay.
Of course, you literally asked the question because I was going to say. So I think Fox picked up Westminster the year I came back to Sacramento.
Okay.
So I had never talked to Chris about it. I think the last time I saw Chris was at the Super Bowl a couple years ago when I went with Alan and Chris Watkins. And we had him on then, and we were sitting there laughing and joking and all that type of stuff. And I remember mentioning that. I was like, "Dude, you calling a dog show?" And he's like, "Yeah. What could you ever thought, like, from the day that we did this?" Like, he's been around way longer than I have. But I said, how in the hell do you do play-by-play for a dog show? And he said, it's a lot like baseball. You're just filler. You're just making stuff up a lot of times. Well, not making stuff up, but you're creating filler.
Yeah.
But that is as far as we've got. I've never asked him, like, how did he get into it? Did he ask for it? Did they say, hey, look, we paying you a whole hell of a lot of money. You got to do this. And why would you want to do it?
Yeah.
But he seems to love it.
Yeah. And he started his career. He's kind of like Carmichael Dave, huh? He was Miami Dave.
North Miami. What do you say? North Dade, Dave.
Yeah.
Miami-Dade County.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Yeah. Thank you for lining that up. Thank you to Chris Myers. We'll come right back with another look at the Kings schedule and the 5 biggest storylines for the new season and how the schedule might shed some light on some of them next on Sacktown Sports.
The Drive Guys.
Somebody from the 916, Whitey. Tell me the last time we had an athletic front court. JK and Keegan Murray, a top 10 power forward, small forward combo. You buying that? No, you can. Why you give me that 10? I mean, let's slow down. He's not even here yet. Right. He doesn't even play here.
You can listen to The Drive Guys Monday through Friday from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. on 1140 a.m., YouTube, and the Sacktown Sports app.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Fidium Fiber.
I'm meteorologist Heather Waldman in the KCRA3 Weather Center. Warm day ahead for Friday. Morning temperatures will be near 60 degrees, but there won't be much of a breeze through mid-afternoon, so highs will climb into the mid-90s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA News and the KCRA app.
It's about time they fixed that pothole.
Invented better windshield wipers.
Made an internet that just works. Fidium Fiber Internet, starting at only $30 a month. It feels like Fidium. Offer available to residential customers only. Terms and conditions apply. See Fidium.com for details.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part? They accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right. So we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide, based on the February 2025 Nielsen report.
Hi, I'm Michael from the War and Treaty. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. Only Novo Nordisk makes FDA-approved Ozempic. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic, semaglutide injection 0.5 milligrams.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
Are you really that different than the rest of us?
We are. As a fiduciary, we always focus on what's best for our clients.
What services do you offer besides investing?
We have a team of specialists in financial planning, estate planning, and more.
Your clients rely on you for all that?
Yes, we ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Okay, but you still sell commission-based products, right?
No, because we believe that's a conflict of interest. We prioritize service over sales goals.
So then how do your fees work?
We have a simple and transparent fee that's a percentage of our clients' portfolios. So we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, we're more different than I thought.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com. Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Give me those sauces, grab the chicken strips, let's dunk them in there. There's nothing like it. Hey, I'm Joey. And I'm Josh. And we're team members at our local Chick-fil-A. And a little thing you'll love about the Chick-fil-A chicken strips is dipping them in our sauces. My sauce is the barbecue sauce. If you wanted to add sweet, tangy flavors, there's nothing like it. I love the garden herb ranch sauce, but if you want a little bit more kick in the spicy side, you can mix it with buffalo sauce. Dipping them in our sauces, it is perfection.
It's the summer of Chick-fil-A chicken strips and sauces. Order now on the Chick-fil-A app. Team members paid for their testimonials.
If you've got a gas-powered engine, keep it running like new at every fill-up. Stable in-season protection is your engine's preventative medicine, cleaning and protecting the entire fuel system in season. In outdoor power equipment, prevent gum and varnish buildup that could cause a rough or non-running engine. For cars and trucks, increase fuel efficiency and power by removing deposits, ensuring your engine's long-term health. Stable outperforms the competition in independent lab testing. So at every fill-up, start with Stable.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter Get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-838-6767. That's 800-838-6767.
Come check out Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room with the most variety of table games in the region in a safe and friendly environment. Plenty of well-lit parking available, conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. And remember, Capital Casino has the best food, the best service, and the best action. 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. For more information, log on to capital-casino.com, and please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Whatever works. We are kind of unwrapping the schedule still and finding, presents under the tree, and also a little coal in the stockings based on some of the daunting challenges the Kings have in the schedule. It's also a challenge for us as NBA fans trying to figure out the new TV schedule. We have this question from UPS Chris. He asks on the text line. Thank you, Chris, UPS Chris. So Prime has Thursday night basketball and Thursday night football now? Yes, but they don't start Thursday night basketball. They have some games during the early part of the year, but they don't start showing NBA games on Thursday until January.
I'm about to say post-December, right?
Yeah. So they have some Emirates Cup games and some things earlier, but they're not on Thursdays. That is until Thursday night football is all over.
UPS Chris, them folks smarter than that. I know where you were going, but yeah, they're not going to commingle sports and lose out on the money that they have spent. They will definitely promote the football separately and basketball separately. They got it worked out to the T. No doubt about it.
The streaming, I think I've adapted to streaming better than I thought I might, but there's still some issues. One of my daughters got me an MLB package.
Okay. Yeah.
But if I don't start it right when the game starts, then I got to fast forward and get up to where
catch up speed.
Through. Yeah. And then one time this is when I was working on the Warrior Station. I was trying to stream. I have that NBA, the streaming package, and I was trying to stream a Warrior game. They were playing against the Knicks, and I, found the game and I'm watching. Hopefully not more than about 90 seconds, and I realized this is the game they played against each other like 3 weeks ago. But I was watching for a while going, okay. Something's
looks a little
odd
familiar,
here.
huh?
Yeah, that's not the Garden. That's Oracle. It's like, I'm watching actually the wrong game. So, but for the most part, I've done okay with it, Jay, with the streaming.
Yeah, I actually have the MLB package because they have a connection with T-Mobile. So one of my cell phones are T-Mobile. And
nice.
I've never used it. I've never not one time I haven't used it yet.
And you're a baseball guy.
Yeah, because normally I feel like when I go to the house, I watch one game, and it's normally like the A's, or I hone in on one game, the national game or something.
Yeah.
And then I'm just kind of, okay, I'm moving on. Now, of course, I check the A's, I check the Giants every single day. I've kind of been
You check the A's and you check the who every single day?
Because we got to talk about it. Okay. And plus I take, I take heed in the fact that they lose. So I'm always
joy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I would definitely.
Yeah.
But I make sure to keep up on the fact that they're not being they're not winning. So I always check those two teams. Of course, being an A's fan, but I normally keep up with the Dodgers, the Yankees, the Mets, the big markets that matter. Obviously, the Brewers are, they're red hot right now. They're blowing everybody out. I hope I would love to see a Brewer championship. How about that?
Really?
I would love to see it. Be different.
How about this? Kyle Ledbetter made a great point today. Willie Adames, I think, is a pretty good shortstop.
Yes.
The Brewers were okay with letting him go.
Yeah.
He goes to Giants, gets his bag, and have the Brewers missed him at all?
No.
How have the Red Sox done since they traded Devers?
Keep pushing, brother.
Yeah, that's a really interesting point.
Yeah. And well, the Adames thing, and I said this prior to the beginning of the season, he's a ball player.
Yeah, he's a good player.
But he's not and I want to be careful because I don't want to be disrespectful to him.
You wouldn't want to be disrespectful to the Giants.
Well, I kid when I'm talking about the Giants, right? But I don't want to be disrespectful directly to Willie Adames because he's a ball player, and I'm glad he got his money. But he's not a game changer. He's not a Aaron Judge. He's not a Bryce Harper. He's not that level type person. And so that's why when, they got him and people are like, oh, we got Adames. I'm like, yeah, good ball player.
Mm-hmm.
Very good. Does a lot of things very well. He'll add to it. But just like we were talking about when we were talking about ISO ball, what's the rest of that team look like?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
There's some people that you guys, meaning Giants fans and organization, depending on, they're not Willie Adames. Let me tell you that.
Did you see who was at Sutter Health last night? Got booed out of the stadium?
I'll let you say. Yes, I did.
John Fisher.
Yeah.
He got basically just as he was walking, he's exiting. There aren't a lot of places you can go in or out. Not a lot of
be seen, not be seen.
Yeah. So it's like if you're going to go out, there's that way you go out. If you're coming in, it's that way. And he got an earful, to say the least, from A's fans.
So, the great part of doing what we do is we have people who are in high places.
Mm-hmm.
And I say high places, it could be at the bottom. Who cares? High places. And a few people text me and was like, John Fisher's in the building.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay. Gonna be interesting. Let's see how this works out. So I kind of knew before the game, people were like, oh, I just ran across John Fisher.
Did you see the video of when he was leaving?
I did.
Okay.
You want to hear the boos?
Sure, since we're talking about it. Yeah. For those who didn't hear, it's kind of not fair to say, yeah, we have the boos, but we're not going to play it for you. And the only reason I was afraid to play it is because I thought there might be language in it, Jay.
I'll do my job and make sure prior to us it going on air, but I don't remember it just looking at it.
Mm-hmm. So John Fisher last night, as he was leaving, and he had to exit. If you know the ballpark, you got to exit like kind of behind home plate, and he heard it from a number of athletics supporters last night at Sutter Health Park.
You can go out right field as well. Don't forget that.
That's true.
You can leave the ballpark right field.
Mm-hmm. But still, if you're down the left field line, you got to go past home plate in order to get down the right field line.
Very true. Very true.
Yeah. You can't take the, you can't go up. They don't have a slide that's a Coke bottle and a giant glove up there at Sutter Health Park. Do we have that? We'll get in just a second here. So that was last night. And it's interesting. One of the comments I saw was, and I just thought it's an interesting comment. You do whatever you want, but someone wondered, why are those people, if they bought the tickets, they're getting tickets that supports him, but then they're booing him, which is an interesting point. But I thought it was interesting when the A's decided to come up here in the first place. Yeah, they got their TV money, but if he thought that he was going to be so far removed from Oakland that he wouldn't catch any grief, well, if he didn't know better, he does after last night. Yeah, to his credit, he just kind of looked like he might have had a little half smile, maybe.
Yeah, like a little smirk.
Yeah, and then he just kind of made his way through, and yeah.
Can I ask you something?
Yes, please.
I'm sitting there looking. This is a pet peeve of mine, and it happens. It's not just all John Fisher. This happens throughout sports. I totally get and understand that the perception or the standard of a business person, businessman or woman is supposed to be in a suit. That is something that the picture has been painted for a long time. And the narrative says for you to look business casual, business like, you need to have on a suit. Why? So with that being said, with that being the foundation. Understandably, some people come from work, head straight to the game. But I've seen Adam Silver do it. I've seen numerous people, not just high-ranking people. How in the hell is it okay? I've seen that at the G1C. You're rocking a dress collar shirt with a jersey over it.
Yeah, that's not a good look.
Who in the hell ever thought of that?
I didn't even notice that.
Have you seen people do that?
Yeah.
What is that about, Whitey?
You know, you see sometimes like at a press conference when a guy signs and they'll put the jersey on. It's like, yeah. Okay. Don't leave it on long, but all right, we get it.
I get it, but
it's a bad look, Jay.
Okay, that's withstanding. You just got your bag. You want, it's for photo op.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, you walk again. I'll just say Adam Silver, John Fisher. Other part of it too. Let me just extend it a little further. With the understanding, everybody is not coming from home or comfortable. Some people feel comfortable in a suit more than they in shorts and a t-shirt. Is it okay to go to a ball game in khakis and a dress shirt and a tie and dress shoes?
Sure it is.
Okay.
I wouldn't do it, but especially if you own the team too.
But isn't that you own the team? You can do what you want to do.
Right.
I guess what I'm asking, is it a time when you're going to a sporting event where you can just be casual? What's wrong with that?
Some people, and I have no idea if he's one of them, they just can't do it.
I said that,
but just can't go there for whatever reason.
The jersey over the collared shirt with the cuffs and the tie, that's not it, man.
Right.
I'm sorry, that's not it.
No, I'm with you. Kings' 5 biggest storylines for the new season and how the new schedule might impact them. We have that when we come back. Sacktown Sports.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
One of our chatters, Jess, was in the building. They're having a conversation about media. She said, not media like Dave. I mean real media. Dave is weird media, which is fine.
You're so weird media.
Weird media.
You can listen to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross Monday through Friday from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on 1140 a.m. YouTube or the Sacktown Sports app.
High voltage live boxing action returns to the venue on September 6th as Uppercut Promotions presents Thunder Showdown with 6 big fights on the bill featuring local lightweight standout Kyle Lockenlally, who enters the ring undefeated. And don't miss a big heavyweight showdown with Chinese heavyweight Junglong Singh and Sacktown's own Vikas Diaw. Thunder Showdown coming September 6th to the venue at Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Tickets available at Ticketmaster. Fight card subject to change.
I'm Ken Korak with your Green and Gold Report, brought to you by Xfinity, introducing the 5-year price guarantee. One internet price, 5 years guaranteed. Well, the A's have played better than 500 baseball since the end of June, and one reason, improved starting pitching. And now that Luis Severino is on the IL, rookies comprise 4/5 of that rotation, including 22-year-old Luis Morales, a consensus top 5 prospect in the A's organization.
Welcome to Dugout Radio, the undisputed home of Boomtown Baseball.
The Wi-Fi is booming with Xfinity, baby. Our next caller is
Stacy. How do you stay locked in on every pitch and play?
We stream it all live on Xfinity Internet with low lag, 99.99% network reliability, and speeds faster than a base runner beating the throw to home plate.
I stream on my TV, tablets, even my smart fridge.
Smart fridge.
With all those games, we gotta refuel.
Stream live baseball with Wi-Fi built for the biggest moments. Xfinity. Restrictions apply. Actual speeds vary, not guaranteed.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
Top 100 teacher and PGA Master Professional Kelly Stenzel offers some short game rules in Golf Magazine. 1. Stay still while putting. 2. Lean into chips with weight slightly forward during the shot. 3. For less distance, use a shorter swing and narrower stance. 4. Hit the ground to get true launch. Make a divot to get the ball in the air. 5. To hit a great bunker shot, dig your feet into the sand. 6. Swing length controls natural speed. Swing and stroke should be relatively equal back and through in size and rhythm. 7. Pivot for pitches so the clubhead glides underneath the ball, launching it high with spin. 8. Write it down. Calibrate your short game and put it on paper. Having some basic guidelines and a plan for your short game can make a huge difference without having to always rely on feel. Look for the full story at golf.com. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
Hi, Sacramento. It's the No Surprise guys at Bell Brothers Plumbing. Need a water heater or plumbing repair? Call Bell Brothers. Clogged drain? We'll clear it for $67. Plus a free camera inspection, a $250 value. We're fast, on time, and the price we quote is the price you pay. No surprises. Plus, we'll check your plumbing for free. Call Bell Brothers or book at thenosurpriseguys.com.
Hello, Sacramento. I'm Emran Plati, owner of True Sports Cards and Collectible Store here in Rockland, California, and the host of the True Sports Cards Show that airs right here on Sacktown Sports 1140 every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m., where we discuss the latest trends, hottest products, and deliver exclusive interviews with other industry leaders. And don't forget to visit our shop, True Sports Cards, at 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland and see what we have for all your sports card and memorabilia needs.
Labor Day savings are on at Elk Grove Chevy with $10,500 off MSRP. Every new 2025 Silverado 1500 5.3 liter after all rebates. And Elk Grove Chevy has one of the largest selections in the Sacramento area. $10,500 off new Silverado exclusively at the Elk Grove Chevy Silverado Supercenter. Now that's big, huge. See them all at MegaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
Excludes work parking, ZR2, Metric, and 2011 Chevy car truck. Not available with special financing, lease, and some other offers.
Made a great deal at Mega.
Day and Waddy, today's drive, guys, with you on scheduled release day. I know the great Pete Youngman posted something along the lines of, you really shouldn't get caught up in the league sticking it to your team this way or that way with the schedule. And Pete Youngman is a very wise man. That said, look at this Warrior schedule, Jay. You think the league wants to help out the Warriors? 7 of their final 10 at home, according to Anthony Slater. The Warriors don't leave California in April. They don't leave the state of California in April. Think the league maybe wants to give the Warriors a little boost down the stretch? I don't know. Pete Youngman's probably right. Yeah, the Warriors also with 34 nationally televised games.
34.
Yeah.
Your afternoon home for Kings talk and
so much more. Sacktown Sports. Lakers with 34 nationally televised games. Knicks with 34 nationally televised games, and the Oklahoma City Thunder with 34 nationally televised games. Isn't that great? You know, the Warriors have won championships, big market, Lakers, huge market, Knicks, huge market, OKC, small market, but man, are they fun to watch.
Yeah, and they've proven and shown they are fun to watch. They're exciting.
Yeah.
Get it in. It just goes to show, if you're winning, as we always talk about, winning cures everything. If you're winning and you have, you know, a couple of guys who are leading vote getters throughout the league, then people will pay attention. You'll be on television, and it's a great thing. I have no clue why we're so hung up on national games, and I don't know if it's a NBA thing or if it's just a Sacramento King thing, or I don't know. You think other markets are hung up on? Well, these Minnesota, let's say for Minnesota, for instance. You think Minnesota Timberwolves fans are hung up on national games?
I would have to check. I'm not so much hung up on it as I just like to know, for being honest, what teams and what narratives the league is trying to cram down our throats, because the teams that are on TV that, so obviously, and I get it. People watch Steph and they watch LeBron. It draws viewers. So that's proven. And that's all they're trying to do, especially with the new broadcast partners. I understand that. It's like you were saying yesterday, or was that Kyle Draper saying, it's business. I get it. It's just smart business.
Right.
It's easy to go, well, our team should be on. No, probably shouldn't now.
Yeah. Lakers should be on.
Yeah, they should.
Much as it hurts my heart.
Mm-hmm. Don't have to watch them.
No, please don't.
Mm-hmm.
Please don't. But you kind of find yourself national games sitting down watching it. If you're on the couch or in the man cave or, anywhere, backyard, you and Jake the Bird.
Jake the Bird. I think he has a girlfriend.
Oh.
I think I've seen him, but he doesn't come around anymore. I mean, he stays up there and looks at me.
Maiden season.
Well, maybe.
Okay.
And then I see, there's another bird over there. Okay, Jake.
So he ain't coming down getting no vittles?
He's not. I think he's still hanging around. He's still looking, but he doesn't come down.
Right.
Yeah.
He's getting fed.
He's got other concerns.
Absolutely.
Little bird is growing up. I think these are the Kings' 5 biggest storylines for the new season. What do you think? Now that it looks like we have a pretty good idea what this team's going to look like, and I know things could still change, and I know what Domas said, but there's a really good chance this is pretty much the roster the Kings are going to have. I think, in no particular order, can Schroeder make it work with Levine and Debo? I think that's huge because they're asking Schroeder to solve a lot of problems.
Agreed.
You know, you got to replace De'Aaron. You got to make it work with Zach and Debo. You got to be the centerpiece, or not the centerpiece, but at least the center point of the defense. The defense starts with you. So, he's fine with it. He welcomes the challenge from everything he said, and he certainly welcomes the contract, but they're asking a lot of Schroeder. So we'll see how capable he is of handling that. I think this is still a big story this year, Jay. Will Keegan blossom?
Absolutely.
And I don't know how many more years if he stays where he is, which is a good player.
Mm-hmm.
3 years from now, we're not going to be wondering, is this the year he busts out? If he hasn't busted out by this year, we may be done asking that question.
Very true.
How quickly can the rookies prove they belong? Very important.
Yeah.
I think Nick Clifford's going to probably show that early on. Maxime Reno, I think it's going to take him a while as a big in the NBA. I think it's going to take him, might take him most of the season. Hopefully it won't.
Should turn this into a Kevin 7.
I only have 5, though.
I know.
Could have. Is Isaac Jones an NBA player? That is huge this year. I think he is.
I think he is, but I'll wait for the fifth and final revelation.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not sure if that's a top 5, but it's on the list. It's on the list.
Because it could, again, solve some of their problems. If Isaac Jones at 6'8", if he's a legitimate 4, what's up?
I'm sorry, man. You always talk about we have the smartest listeners. Survivor 209, man. I don't know why it caught my eye.
Uh-huh.
Because I'm rarely on the text or the chat, so sounds like your bird is worried about the bees.
Yeah, I think he is. I think that's accurate.
I don't know why that cracked me up, bro. It just
I think that's accurate.
It caught me by a surprise, I guess.
Yeah. Hey, I go out there and I call his name and I talk to him. Like, no, I've grown up. I got other concerns now. They'll kind of wink at me.
Yeah. My bad, Whitey. I didn't mean to interrupt your list, man. The 209, man, they out of pocket for that.
Mm-hmm. I get a lot of texts and
I found that funny
about Jake.
Of course.
Yeah.
Jake is an integral part. If we're talking about 5 integral parts of this show, Jake is part of it.
For those who might not know, Jake is the scrub Jay that over the last month or so started flying down and eating out of my hand.
Yes. Yeah. And you have video confirmation.
I do. Yes. Fifth and finally, will the team's identity and the new culture, will they stabilize this situation? And I'm not saying they have to be, are they going to win 50 games? But they just have to have an idea of what they're doing. That has to come together pretty quickly, I think.
For me, that's number one.
Mm-hmm.
I think if we're talking about how this team moves and how they operate, the culture, the foundation, the plan, the goal, put the GPS on, where are we headed to?
Yes.
That, for me, that's number one. I'm okay with, even if this team, and I'm speaking for myself, I'm not speaking for Kings fans. I don't need Kings fans to jump down my throat and tell me, come on, Jay, that's not what we want to win and all. I get it. I'm with you. But I would be okay with an average season if I confidently knew where this team was going. And I had a good idea of where they want to end up, which is hopefully a championship. Understandably, people could, come on, Jay, you out your mind, Kings. I got it. But I'm saying you have to put your foot in the ground and change the narrative sometime. I would be all right. And I'm saying this, even if it was another play-in year, if I seen it, felt it, knew it, Scott Perry, BJ Armstrong, Vivek, Coach Christie, Bobby Jackson, Scott Fresh, Scott Moe, anybody that's over there, Slamson, right? If we all were on the same page and everybody said we're hunting for this goal and we're working towards that goal and there is substance behind the conversation, I would be okay. That's my number one.
Mm-hmm. That's a good one. As far as the new schedule goes, when we come back, do the Kings have a realistic shot at starting fast? And what happens if they don't? We're back with that next. Sacktown Sports.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
One of our chatters, Jess, was in the building. They're having a conversation about media. She said, not media like Dave. I mean real media. Dave is weird media, which is fine.
You're so weird media.
Weird media.
You can listen to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross Monday through Friday from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on 1140 a.m. YouTube or the Sacktown Sports app.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hi, I'm Michael from the War and Treaty. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. Only Novo Nordisk makes FDA-approved Ozempic. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic, semaglutide injection 0.5 milligrams.
Grown-ups, don't go back to school. Go forward through school into your future as an IT professional. Whether you're starting out, switching careers, or a veteran ready for change, My Computer Career can help you get into IT in just a few short months with no prior experience. So take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu. Your rewarding career in IT awaits. That's mycomputercareer.edu, an elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including the VA benefits.
For 25 award-winning years in Northern California, Ashton & Price is your local injury law firm. Pro attorney tip: if a firm presents as local but they're in LA, red flag. If your first consultation is not with a lawyer, big red flag. At Ashton & Price, your first consult is with a local attorney, and if serious injury prevents travel, a lawyer will come to you. Still not enough? George Washington's my uncle. At Ashton & Price, no red flags, just red, white, and blue.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
Mark your calendars for a stacked lineup of live shows. It all starts August 23rd with Gypsy Kings at Hard Rock Live Sacramento and Super Soul Fest featuring Jeffrey Osborne at Thunder Valley. Then get ready to laugh with Weird Al Yankovic at the Lake Tahoe Amphitheater at Caesars Republic on August 24th and comedian Taylor Tomlinson at Thunder Valley on August 29th. Flashback to the ultimate throwback but lost 80s rewind at Thunder Valley on August 31st. And Fight Night fans, don't miss Thunder Showdown Boxing on September 6th, also at Thunder Valley. Country star Darius Rucker takes the stage at the Lake Tahoe Amphitheater at Caesars Republic on September 13th, followed by comedian legend Eddie Griffin on September 19th, and Classic Rockers 38 Special on September 21st, both at Hard Rock Live Sacramento. Then it's Keith Sweat at Hard Rock Live Sacramento October 5th. And country fans, see David Nail live at Goldfield Roseville October 9th. Get your tickets now and find more info at sacktownsports.com. Summer's flying by, and that back-to-school checklist, it's growing fast. New backpack? Check. School supplies? Check. Dentist appointment? Let's fix that. Kids Care Dental and Orthodontics is making it easy to cross dental checkups off your summer list fast, with priority scheduling for new patients and kid-friendly care that makes them smile. It's one less thing to worry about before fall. Call now or book online at kidscaredental.com. That's kidscaredental.com, because healthy smiles should be the easiest thing to check off your summer list.
Time now for your Sacktown Sports 1140 49ers report. Brought to you by Kia of Vacaville, conveniently located beside the Vacaville outlets. The Niners lost their first preseason game to Denver 30-9 on Saturday night. Few of the starters played for Mike Shanahan's team. Mac Jones started at quarterback and drove the team down the field for a game-opening TV drive. However, that was all the offensive scoring for San Francisco. Next up for the Niners, they play in Vegas this Saturday afternoon. It's a 1 p.m. kickoff right here on Sacktown Sports 1140.
Football season is here at Kia of Vacaville. You can score big in a new 2025 Kia Niro LX with up to 53 MPG combined at Kia of Vacaville. Perfect for road trips, tailgates, and cruising to Levi Stadium in style and comfort. But don't wait. Inventory is limited at Kia of Vacaville, and these deals won't last long. Visit KiaVacaville.com or stop by right next to the Vacaville outlets for friendly service, easy shopping, and unbeatable value. All in one stop. Kia of Vacaville, where the adventure begins.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave here for Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room, inviting you to come join them every Wednesday for their midweek madness drawing, giving away $2,000 in total cash starting at 6 p.m. It's a safe and friendly environment, plenty of well-lit parking available, and it's conveniently located right there in downtown Sacramento. And remember, best food, best service, best games, 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. For more information, log on to capital-casino.com and gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sacktown Sports, 1140. Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
Yay, the Kings' new schedule is here. That means we're going to have a basketball season before too long. How about that? You have questions. We have questions. Hopefully we have answers to some of your questions. Here's a question from UPS Chris on the text line. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. I think this is a very interesting question. UPS Chris, it's actually not a question. It's a comment. I'm blown away that there are only 3 home games this year on Saturdays. So I looked it up, Chris, and I found that last season, the Kings had only 4 home games on Saturdays. However, I also found this. Last year, the Kings had 6 home games on Fridays, 4 on Saturdays, and 6 on Sundays. All right? So last year, weekends, games, home games for the Kings, 6 Fridays, 4 Saturdays, and 6 on Sundays. This year, the Kings have, according to the brand new schedule that was just released, 6 home games on Fridays, only 3 on Saturdays, just 1 fewer than last year. 11 on Sundays, Jay. 11 Sunday home games for the Kings this year. So Sunday is a new Saturday as far as the Kings are concerned with the schedule this year.
Yeah, as I'm looking, January they play 4 of the 5 Sundays, and March they play every Sunday.
Really?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
1st, 8th, 15th, 22nd, and 29th.
So we're just wondering here, does this schedule, and I'm sure if you've looked at it, you've wondered the same thing, does this schedule give the Kings any kind of shot, any decent shot at getting off to a good start? Certainly can't say no, but it's pretty daunting early on there, isn't it, Jay? I know that's one of the things you focused on. You got to play Oklahoma City. What is it?
3 times.
3 times in October and November.
Yeah.
So getting off to a really, honestly, a good start for the Kings won't be easy this year.
No, not on paper. It's not. You play Denver 3 times in that same stretch as well. Trying to see if you double up and Minnesota too, right? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, you play Minnesota 3 times as well. So they're playing that Western Conference. You know, some of the heavy hitters very, very early. I'm looking. They got Utah twice within that time, that zone, and then you mix in a Milwaukee, and Atlanta, Golden State 1 time. Interesting because you play the Clippers at all in the first month and a half. No, you don't.
No, they're not in there.
Yeah.
But you made this point, I think, that you start the season with Phoenix and Utah, 22nd, 24th of October. And then you also play Phoenix, Utah in November 26th and 28th.
Yeah.
But between that, it's pretty meaty. You got 13 of your first 20 against teams that made the playoffs last year. And that does not include a game against San Antonio that are they going to make the playoffs this year? They got a really good chance. So you got a lot of tough Western teams that you're vying with here early in the season.
Yeah. I think if you're looking at it on paper, the Kings and Spurs are close to equal. They're probably about the same probably close to playing in. Hopefully, you know, everything shakes right and you make the top 6. Would you say that's where the Spurs are at?
Maybe,
or do you
but
think they got higher aspirations?
They have their ceiling is so much higher.
Yeah.
And we don't know if, you know, I thought they'd be a little better last year.
True.
But they obviously have the potential, I think, to win a lot of games if things come together. Full year with De'Aaron and assuming Wemby is healthy and all that.
Yeah. No doubt about it. It's the schedule shakes out interesting because I always look at some of the East Coast teams that come our way. The Knicks come our way the 14th of January.
Mike Brown.
Absolutely. You know, they play the Spurs here on an NBC. That's a national game. That's the 17th of March. That's a Tuesday.
Somebody asked a question and it was a while ago and I didn't get to it on the air, but someone was asking, will they in any way honor or salute Mike Brown when he comes back? I wouldn't think so. Fans will.
Yeah, because he's a coach. How do you, I mean, unless you do clips or press conferences or
maybe,
showing him celebrate with some music behind it. I don't know how you.
It's also different when you fired the guy. You know, if a guy leaves or something and you're like, hey, welcome back. Thanks for everything. That's different. You know, if a guy is a free agent, when you let the guy go, doesn't it seem potentially kind of disingenuous to like dismiss the guy and then, oh, thanks for everything? I don't know.
Maybe, I don't know. Because I feel that way with players too, but it seems like we give the love to players that, maybe just because we have more clips and highlights.
Mm-hmm.
That's
you
a
don't
great
really
question.
Fire a player either. You might trade him.
You trade him.
Yeah.
Well, I guess if you cut them.
Right. If you're cutting a guy, he's probably not getting a tribute video.
Well, if they're a little long in the tooth. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I could see, Moke doing his thing and Mike Brown's in the building and you throw it up, former King.
Yeah.
Like that type of celebration,
Nothing
honor.
formal, but Kings fans will acknowledge.
Yeah. Probably something like that.
I would think, yes.
Yeah, you might be right. The Knicks come through here January 14th. I see the Orlando Magic, who some people are high on. They come this way the 19th. And I don't know if you remember, Whitey, but the last couple of games that Orlando has been in here, the G1C, they've been eventful. They've been some good games, especially a couple years
overtime?
ago. Double? Was it double or triple?
Double. I think.
Double. It's double, yeah. Chicago comes through here March 8th. Tons of Bulls fans just spinning off Jordan.
And then everyone makes the joke. It's the Bulls against the other Bulls.
Atlanta, Trae Young, Ice Trade comes early, November 12th. Get your tickets there. The other one that's super interesting, and I'm trying to think, have I even had an opportunity to watch him play? Cade Cunningham.
Yeah.
December 23rd, 2 days before Christmas. And this was the other thing I was going to send this to Draper. I need to call Draper, actually.
Mm-hmm.
We play, I'll say we. Kings play the 23rd and then the 27th of December. Right. So they have 3 days off, 24th, 25th, and 26th. And they're at home. And then they go to LA for the 28th and the 30th. And then they come back for Boston on the 1st. So they'll be close to home for the holidays.
Right.
So Draper don't have to be Scrooge this year.
Right. And even backing up a little, or maybe you mentioned this, the 20th, 21st, 23rd, you're home.
They're at home too. Yeah. I did not say that.
Yeah.
And even prior to that, Portland, it's not the furthest team to travel to.
Right.
So you're coming off the cup games, and we don't know those because they're TBD. That takes it from December the 9th to the 16th. Then you kick in and play Portland on the road, come back home, play Portland and Houston, Detroit, Dallas.
Yeah.
Then on the road to end the year. They don't play on New Year's, but they play on New Year's Day, and that'll be at home against Boston. Get your tickets.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Home for the holidays.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Seems that way.
Mm-hmm. So you got Phoenix and Utah to start the season. We knew that. Then you got Lakers, OKC, Chicago, Milwaukee, Denver, the Warriors, OKC again, Minnesota, Denver, Atlanta, Minnesota, Spurs, OKC again, Memphis, Denver again, Minnesota again. So there's a real good chance the Kings will not get off to a very good start. And as somebody, it might have been UPS Chris pointed out on the text line, like 10-10 or whatever, 10-10 would be phenomenal. So will that affect the Kings' direction? If they get off to a bad start, is that going to hasten a selling off. I don't think they could do that. Or it's almost like the tough part of the schedule is almost too early. You can't just that early in the season before you even get to December. You can't say, oh yeah, we're out of it. I can't see that if you get off to that slow start and then you kind of just, you're playing at best 500 basketball after that into the deadline. I do think that it would make sense for the Kings to say, yeah, this season isn't working the way we thought. So we're going to have to, and again, at the deadline, maybe see if we can spin off some of our veterans and really focus on getting younger. That would make sense. Unless you're going to think, all right, we'll run it back again next year and we'll make the play-in next year. A slow start means it's more likely, in my opinion, that they're going to go younger sooner.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
I hadn't thought about that when I first laid my eyes on this schedule in the 2:00 hour, but Kyle Ledbetter, who's on before us, he had mentioned that. I said, I hadn't even thought about that as I was sitting here, flabbergasted by the fact that they have to play a bunch of heavyweights early on in the first couple of weeks.
Yeah.
2, 3, 4 weeks. Like, man, that's not a setup for, to be very successful in the beginning without winning some hard games.
Yeah. And I don't mean to be disrespectful or, overly pessimistic when some fans are trying so hard with a new schedule to be optimistic.
Yeah.
You never know what's going to happen. But this first, month and a half, however you want to call it,
that's
is tough. It's tough.
How you think the people over there at the G1C reacted when they said, okay, let me peep that schedule? Because they probably had to schedule for, a little while.
Right.
Put it up on that whiteboard and said, oh, man, I better call Sign Lady. I need some. Yeah. As Sign Lady said, she became, who she, part of how the reason she became is she wanted to make sure that the players felt good, were comfortable, were welcome to the city, good vibes. This is sending good vibes, good karma. Well, we might need a sign or two.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
And I think the rubber's going to hit the road early with this team and this schedule.
Man.
You think you might be pretty good? All right, let's find out early on. And maybe they're up to the task and things come together and Schroeder finds his stride and becomes the floor general. And Zach LaVine is like, yep, I got this now. I'm comfortable.
Yep.
Maybe they surprise some people. But we're going to find out early on because if it doesn't happen early, I think they may have to change their plans. Change
of direction.
Maybe.
Yeah, it could be. But you may be onto something when the fact of it may be so early. There's be plenty of time. And I'm hoping they can, this brutal schedule in the beginning, they can wade through it and come out, 500, a little bit better than 500. We can all hope. Like you said, we can all be.
Oh, yeah. You just never, ever, ever know.
Absolutely. Still got to play the games.
Mm-hmm.
But it is super, super early. It is very early. If you were to come out with a losing record and, didn't feel too good about the record coming out of that first month and a week or two, it's so early that you're like, all right, listen, let's regroup. We don't even need our second win. I don't think we've really hit our first, we haven't even soared yet for our first time. So let's go ahead and regroup. Let's attack the next block of schedules because every coach is different. I look at it per 3, some 5, some 10. And some homestands versus road. It just all depends. But let's attack it and see where we finish, maybe by the top of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah, be interesting.
Mm-hmm. If you start out playing well at all, reasonably well, and everyone's playing well and things are coming together, then you go right back on that track that you were on last year and the year before. And maybe, you don't have as bright of an outlook long-term, but short-term, if this team comes out of the gates well, then you're right back on that. Yes, we're focusing on winning as many games as we can this year. But if they're not able to do that, take, for example, DeMar. I mean, even for his sake, what if this team struggles out of the gate and you got DeMar DeRozan and you decide, we're going to lean a little younger, which means that next year, we're still going to be kind of developing. DeMar DeRozan just doesn't fit what you're doing, and it's not fair to him either. So I know I'm getting ahead of myself, but if you start slowly, those are the types of questions you're going to have to answer roster-wise for your sake and for the sake of a guy like him.
Yeah, 100%. For whatever reason, like I said, my first initial vision of the schedule, I hadn't thought about it, but you're right. It is something that you may have to ponder. Again, we're hoping that it doesn't shake out to be that way. But, yeah, thinking reality, for sure. You got to look at it for real and through. Take off the purple colored glasses, as Drapes likes to say. Sometimes you got to kind of read between the lines and be real with yourself and, tell the truth. It's a difficult task. That first month and a week.
Yeah.
It's a difficult task. No doubt about it.
We don't know how good Denver's going to be, how their new pieces are going to put together. That's a team that I'm really anxious to see today on ESPN when they did the schedule release. What is this thing with ESPN? All the people on the panel are like really talented. And yet when they do the show, it's like, it's not that good. It's because of the way they produce and the things that they're emphasizing. Like, just let those people talk.
Let them
instead
do
of forcing them to say, well, what about the grudge matchups this year? What do you think are the big grudge matchups? Anyway, they were talking about what team do you most want to see? And, Houston was getting some run. Denver's, and I want to see Houston. Denver's a team I'm really anxious to see because, I've always been kind of a Cam Johnson guy.
Yeah.
And I look at him and think he's a really good fit on that team.
Yeah, he is.
So I'm anxious to see how that comes together. But sometimes it takes longer, especially with a veteran team. Sometimes it does take longer than in, the first month. So maybe that actually works in the Kings' favor. Maybe they're playing some of these better teams before they're playing their best basketball.
Very true. And hopefully you can catch OKC just kind of cruising. You get them out the way 3 times,
right?
In the beginning of the season, maybe you catch them cruising on a night or two. That's a lot of hope because we are talking about the defending champs. But I appreciate the Phoenix and the Utah games leading us off. Thank you to the NBA. That is, I appreciate that.
It, Commissioner Silver.
Absolutely, Mike Bass and company over there at the NBA. Thank you. You know what I mean? We really appreciate you.
Thank you.
We'll take the Utah games anytime we can get them. We just need the squad to go out there and take care of business. And it's kind of like a give me on paper. We're talking about on paper here. My boy Whitey Gleason likes to carry paper around.
I do.
If you're going to have an opener, it's like a homecoming game. Schools took that homecoming game. It's like, it's Cal versus Southeast Missouri State, A&T.
Yeah.
And something you ain't really heard. And you're trying to figure it out.
And they're like the Wombats or something. Right. Yeah. Southeast Missouri State A&T Wombats come to town.
Yeah, absolutely. Take care of business, Sac State. It's Utah. That's our version of Southeast Missouri State, A&T. It's Utah. Our first game at home is Utah. We got to take care of business, man.
Yes. Remember last year, I can look it up. Remember Minnesota, into January, they were kind of like, what's wrong with them? They're not that good. And then they looked at the calendar and said, all right, here we go. But first part of the year, and I know they were here for the home opener last year, they were kind of up and down. Here's some comments from the smartest viewers in YouTube. Seekins 4 in the chat says 2-8 out of the gate. Amadrock, I'd say 1-9. They got to beat Utah. Seekins 4 says, I don't think Sacramento Kings will be above the 500 mark at any time this season. He's down on this team. He also says, if the Kings beat the Suns in Phoenix, I'll honestly be surprised, Jay.
Really?
Yeah, that's what he says.
Wow. You must see the Suns in a different light. No pun intended.
Yeah. I was just going to let that one sit there a little bit.
I'm not sure. I would, the King tells me they're going 2-0.
Yeah, I think they should.
King fandom.
Yeah. And I understand Phoenix has some talent. Big Devin Booker fan, but they lost some pretty good players.
They did. And they are the type of team, if we're talking about trying to figure it out, square peg, square blocking around peg, all that type of thing. The Suns, that's them. I truly think. The Denver squad is interesting because and I hadn't thought about it until right now, Whitey, what plays best off of Jokic is spot up guys. And Cam Johnson is a great spot up shooter. Michael Porter Jr. has a little more wiggle to this game.
Right.
And he needs the ball in his hand a little bit more. And maybe that, maybe now that he's moved on, he'll have greater success because I think he has a little more in store than what we've seen. But Cam Johnson at this point might be a perfect piece.
Yeah, as you have pointed out,
Denver.
And I've tended to overlook it, but he does get hurt.
Yeah.
Aaron Gordon has some health issues, but I think if he's healthy, I think Cam Johnson's a really good fit for that team.
You might be right.
They're a little scary.
Yeah, you might be right because the one thing he's going to bring to the table that MPJ was accused of not was playing hard on defense. He's going to play defense.
He's a good defender.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he might not be great, but he's good, and he's a good team defender, and he's going to put the effort in. I'm not accusing Michael Porter Jr. of not. Some people have. That's one of the ticks on MPJ is he's a little worried more about the shot than the defense. But he's got a championship. He's shown and proven he can be an integral piece of on a championship caliber team. It sounds like he wants to be a 1 or a 2. So here's his opportunity when you go to Brooklyn. I think Cam has resorted to the fact of, I'm going to be a piece on the championship squad. I'm going to shoot the rock, play some defense.
He was early in his career with the Suns. Well, not a championship, but a team that got to the finals.
Yeah, he was a piece, right? I don't know why I hadn't thought about that. I don't know why.
Minnesota, I know Drapes has made this point. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he said he thinks that they might take a step back. It's just hard for me to look at the Timberwolves and figure out, well, how are they better? I mean, they've been really good the last couple of years. They're just in the conference finals. It didn't perform well in the conference finals, but how are they going to be better this year? You have to, I think, in any sport, you have to add something of significance. So I don't know that they did. And of course, you have time to do that too at the deadline. But starting the year, I'm just not sure, Jay. Minnesota is formidable, but I don't see how they're much better than they were last year.
Yeah. The one thing you're going to get some tough games. Anthony Edwards is able to explode on you at any point in time. And, they're going to play some defense. And, they got some veteran leadership. They're going to be in the game. But as you said, you can walk into Minnesota just like the Kings did a few times. You can walk into Minnesota and get your W.
Steal their lunch money.
Absolutely. You're right.
Yeah. It's just, again, I know we keep saying this, but Schroeder's such a big key for the Kings. Are they asking him to do more than he's capable of doing? We will find out. Yeah, he's a good player, but to me, they're asking him to solve a lot of problems rather than come in, do your thing. We'll see how it fits. Like, run the show. Okay. I hope it works.
I'm hoping that it's the fact of just be you, and you being you will mend some of those issues that we have compared to, put your eye on making sure DeMar has the ball here or Zach is receiving the rock here or Keegan is getting his touches. I'm hoping they're saying, look, we're going to arm you in the fact of you can run this offense. You're going to be an extension of Coach Christie, Coach Bobby Jackson, Coach Mike Woodson, whoever, operating that movement, that offensive coordinator movement. But just be you. And being you is good enough that it's going to assist and help and promote and push this team to being better.
B Deets 916 says the lower the expectation, the better the vibe.
Oh,
that's what Kyle Shanahan's trying to do with the 49ers.
Niners.
Right, yeah.
Temper the expectations.
Yeah.
I don't know if I believe that, but I hear where you're going. Who said that? Some expert.
B Deets 916.
Yeah. I can see where he or she is coming from, but I don't know if I believe that completely.
I think this is the weirdest offseason for the Kings that I can remember in many years, because what are we supposed to expect from the Kings? How good are they? They might be pretty good. They might not be good at all. What are they even trying to do? We've talked about that a lot, Jay. Fans are divided. Fans are confused because it's just not clear. And it's possible that they're not clear on exactly what they're trying to do yet either. And they got to see how these things fit together. But from a fan standpoint, it's a unique and interesting time to be a Kings fan.
No doubt about it. You could honestly say that Scott Perry and BJ Armstrong in the front office is going to allow some of this time to still assess the squad, assess the team.
Yeah.
And as much as you believe, and you look at the analytics and, Scott Perry's been around the NBA and probably pretty much knows all these guys who are playing and studied the tape and so on and so forth. But you haven't seen them together. And because last year was just so much of a roller coaster ride, you could honestly say, you know what, I'm gonna let this team, I'm gonna roll out the carpet, roll out the ball and see how this team plays for the first 25 games, 20 games. And it's gonna be interesting to see how quick Scott Perry and the organization is tempered to move, albeit in a positive way or a negative way. I'm not exactly sure, but it's definitely going to be interesting.
When we come back, we'll take a look at the NBA people under the most pressure this season. Do you agree with this assessment? We're back with that next on Sacktown Sports.
The Alan Styles Show.
Are the Kings the one team in the league that could actually benefit from one of their players having a podcast? Malik. It would probably be Malik, even though he's in all these dang trade rumors. Wouldn't it be nice if you heard stories about the Kings?
You can listen to the Allen Style Show Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. on 1140 a.m., YouTube, and the Sacktown Sports app.
Progressive knows when you're in your RV, you're already on vacation. That's when you become Vacation You, who just camped where there's absolutely no shade. Even though regular you burns easily. In fact, Vacation You burns too, but is too stubborn to admit it, which is why regular you gets in trouble at the dermatologist, because Vacation You doesn't do doctors. So bundle your RV with your home or auto policy and earn an automatic discount from Progressive. And spend the savings on the both of you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Well, you know the story, right? I've been telling you about this, how during the winter, right after the holidays, the old heating unit just stopped working. And we were without heat during these cold January weeks there. We didn't know who to turn to. There's a lot of choices when it comes to HVAC choices, HVAC companies. Friend recommended we check out Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating at leesair.com. And we did check them out, and I'm glad we did. They treated us with a ton of respect. Even the person that answered the phone before they even knew who we were. They treated us with a lot of respect, and even the guys that installed the new unit. So it comes down to this. Why choose Lee's? They offer that 100% satisfaction guarantee, and that's big. They get 4.8 stars on Google. So, yeah, a lot of friends recommend them. They've won awards for their service, and they've spent more than 40 years serving the Valley's HVAC heating and plumbing needs. You can trust Lee's. With installation and repair of your AC, your furnace, your water heater, residential and commercial plumbing repair, commercial HVAC services too. Find out more at leesair.com. Check out their mission statement. It's all about serving customers like you, like me, and serving community. Check on their $99 HVAC tune-up service too. Let Lee's take care of you the way they took care of me. They treated us like family. They set us up with an HVAC system that has improved our quality of life. Lee's Air, Plumbing and Heating, license number 635355.
Some things can steal your sunshine. Ugh, I just got my hair done.
Sorry, the cooler's broken. Anyone see my flip-flops? Anyone?
But COVID-19 can steal a lot more. I just took a COVID test. Ugh. Prescription medications for COVID exist. If you test positive this summer, ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com/COVID-19 to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Americans may not agree on much, but we agree on Social Security. We all pay in. It ought to be there when we need it. Social Security could face a funding gap in less than a decade, and I don't want to see a pay cut. I'm with AARP in the fight to protect the Social Security we earned.
Pledge to protect Social Security at aarp.org/weearnedit. That's aarp.org/weearnedit. Paid for by AARP.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet, a Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Woodland. What's happening for the Make This the Summer sales event?
Right now, save up to $15,000 off MSRP on new 2025 Ram 1500 crew cabs. The Motor Trend 2025 Truck of the Year.
What about all those hard-to-find heavy duties?
Right now, save up to $11,000 off MSRP on the hard-to-find brand new 2025 Ram Heavy Duties. You won't find a better selection of new Rams in California, with over 400 new Rams available and more on the way.
Search, select, and save through our whole inventory at HobletDodge.com. Nobody beats Hoblet, period. $15,000 total net savings on select new 2025 Ram 1500 Bighorns after 83.16 factory rebates and 66.84 dealer discounts. Rebates include 10% below MSRP. $2,000 Stellantis financial bonus cash. Must finance with Stellantis. $500 on the job upfit. Must show eligible upfit. $11,000 total net savings on select new 2025 Ram 2500 Limited after 2,500 factory rebates and 8,500 dealer discount. Rebates include $500 on the job upfit. Must show eligible upfit. At least 5 of each net savings. Not everyone will qualify for all rebates. See dealer for details.
With 25 award-winning years in Northern California, Ashton & Price is your local injury law firm. Pro attorney tip: if a firm presents as local but they're in LA, red flag. If your first consultation is not with a lawyer, big red flag. At Ashton & Price, your first consult is with a local attorney, and if serious injury prevents travel, a lawyer will come to you. Still not enough? George Washington's my uncle. At Ashton & Price, no red flags, just red, white, and blue.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
Drapes and Whitey. Whitey and Drapes. You know the pair, the Drive Guys.
Got Whitey and Jay today. Kyle Draper has a day off. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Still breaking down that new Kings schedule. Going to take a look here at the 6 NBA figures under the most pressure this season, according to the Ringer, and we'll decide whether they're right or not. As Michael Pena put this together. He's usually pretty good, right, Jay? He's usually pretty fair.
Yeah, for the most part. He's he's spread some love our way, and then stick the knife on us.
Yes, right. Yeah. He's done both. Before we get to that, it's time for guess what? Check it with TC. TC, how you doing today? What's up?
Check my check for sure. It's gonna be short and sweet. I got Kings at Niners, so we're gonna go Niners first, right?
Yeah.
So I guess I seen Breida retire, right? Shanahan trying to low play. You know why he's trying to low play? He ain't trying to low play it. He hoping that he hoping that everybody take his back and say, you know what, bro? I know you up against it. Give me a shot. I told you this is his last year. That's why he come out. Oh, we playing the rookies. Y'all got to give us a shot. Hoping everybody feels sorry for him. No, bro, this is it, dog. You got to make it happen. If not, bro, you got to get off the pot. As far as the Kings, we just got to put our head down, bro. We talking about the schedule. I know we got to talk about it, but at the end of the day, Jay and Whitey, Drapes, y'all know what's up, bro. We got to put our head down and grind, bro, no matter who's in front of us. We got to put the team together, and we got to grind, bro. So right now, I'm going to give you a prediction. I got the Kings at 49 wins this season. I'm going to stand on that.
Wow.
I'm out 49 wins. I'm going to stand on that. I'm out.
Thank you, TC. Maybe we need a little dose of optimism. 49-33, Jay? Wow.
I mean, you said a dose?
Yeah,
buddy. That's a fifth.
49 wins for the Kings.
That's a gallon. A gallon. That's a fifth of optimism.
Yeah. High dosage optimism from TC. As far as the Shanahan stuff, he's referring to some comments from Kyle Shanahan that we haven't gotten to yet today. We might not get to it till tomorrow. It's really interesting. Kyle Shanahan was on SiriusXM, and we alluded to this when we talked with Chris Myers earlier. Kyle Shanahan said basically, 2017, we kind of had to rework the roster. And he said, we got some guys that have been here a while now. We got a lot of stars. We got a lot of good players, but we're also having to replenish the roster with young players. And we just hope, we can get better during the season and then find our way into those playoffs, and then anything can happen. So it does seem like Kyle Shanahan's trying to tamp down the expectations a little bit this year. And it's interesting why he would feel the need to do that. Maybe he just feels like this team, we won 6 games last year. We don't know what's going to happen. But it's possible that the 49ers will play better if they get out from under the weight of those expectations that they carried into last year and all the talk of the Super Bowl window closing. Maybe that was putting undue pressure on everybody there. I don't know. Maybe the 49ers just want to try to sneak up on people. But we'll get to that probably tomorrow. We'll hear what Kyle Shanahan had to say and break that down because it's fascinating. Speaking of pressure, this is from The Ringer, as I mentioned, and they have the 6 figures under the most pressure this season in the NBA. Run down this quickly. I don't agree with all these. I get the point, but They've got them in no order. They got Luka and Rob Pelinka as being under a lot of pressure. I still think I don't see them as being under a lot of pressure this year. Everyone is so thrilled there in LA with Luka and thrilled with Pelinka that he was able to pull that off. I could see maybe if he gets hurt or they get off to a slow start, maybe the heat ratchets up a little bit, but I think that they've got a honeymoon period ahead of them still. So I don't think the pressure's there yet for them. John Horst is the general manager of the Milwaukee Bucks, and it's been tough sledding for him and for the Bucks since they won that championship in 2021. 0 draft picks have panned out, and the trade for Damian Lillard didn't work out. So I understand that, because the whole thing about Milwaukee, of course, is can they keep Giannis happy? And if they can't, is he going to ask out? A lot of NBA teams, not just fans, not just media members looking for material, have been waiting and watching this year, wondering if, is Giannis going to ask out? Hasn't happened yet. It could happen sooner rather than later if John Horst and the Bucks can't figure some things out. Trae Young is under a ton of pressure, Jay, because Trae Young basically is playing for a new contract. If he's not going to get the extension from the Hawks, he's playing for his next contract with somebody. So far, by not giving their franchise player the 4-year, $229 million extension that he believes he's due, the Hawks have communicated a harsh reality about their current situation. At that price, you need us more than we need you, writes Michael Pena, and he's right. That's where Trae Young and the Hawks are right now.
I might not agree with the fact that he needs them more, but it's a standoff.
Mm-hmm.
It's a standoff. I missed the first two. I apologize, trying to help a caller. Who was the first two?
First they had, when I say they, Michael Pena, he said Luka and Rob Pelinka, which I disagree with. I think they got a honeymoon period there.
Okay. Yeah. I'm with you. No pressure.
John Horst, the GM of the Bucks, just because things have not worked out there since they won that championship. And, you've got the shadow of Giannis's potential ask out hanging over you too.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. He's got some pressure on him.
Yeah. Trae Young,
okay,
he's got something to prove.
He definitely is.
The entire Cavaliers organization.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. They are star-studded, and I'd even put a little pressure on Donovan Mitchell because he's probably the face to that organization. He's got to take the next step in his career too, meaning Eastern Conference run, maybe a finals run, but also, hit a game winner, and he's done it before, but it has to feel like he is taking the next step. Can you honestly say, like, Donovan Mitchell has, like, we know he's a star. He's probably not a superstar, depending on who you ask. He's borderline. But do you feel as if he and the Cavs have anointed themselves as like, look, we're hunting for a championship?
When they traded for him, Jay, I said, you know what? He's a good player, but I don't think he can be as good as they need him to be in Cleveland. And initially it looked like, no, he is, but I think I might have been right.
Might be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you might be.
And here's some apron talk, but bear with me. It's not a lot, and I think it's really amazing. According to Michael Pena, Cleveland is not only just the only organization in that second apron, they're nearly $20 million over the line, which means they're all in. If you're going to go $20 million into the second apron, you better produce.
Championship or nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's big money right there, brother.
Mm-hmm. And then the last guy on this list is Bradley Beal.
Ooh, that's interesting.
Mm-hmm. He is essentially playing for his next contract, can become an unrestricted free agent next summer. No real financial strain on him. Yeah, I don't see the pressure on Bradley Beal.
Well, I think it's just to kind of stay afloat as being as a star, a top level, thought as a top level NBA player, or is it time for him to kind of transition into, the Russell Westbrook, come off the bench, you're a glue guy, you're a veteran, you're not going to play 30 minutes a game, you'll play 15 now. Like, I think he's kind of fighting for that hierarchy for him,
Yeah, I know he has said, I got to win a ring. If he goes into the season feeling like I have to prove that I'm still Bradley Beal, yeah, there's pressure. But to me, I just feel like like you said, you're like on the 16th hole now, bro, and you got a pretty good round. You're not going to win the club championship, but in your career, you had a pretty good round. So
you won a bunch of Cadillac invitationals and waste management invitationals.
You made the cut a lot.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You've been on a rider squad once or twice, and but you've never really won that major. Yeah. Okay, I got what you're saying.
So for me, it's Bradley Beal's almost like this would be gravy
on the Olympic team.
Yeah, but if he feels like, no, I still have a lot to prove, okay, then there's pressure.
Because he's already paid. He ain't hurting. He's been paid twice now. Yeah. Right. So it ain't like he's hurting. But I do, he's fighting for the legitimacy of, is he still a top flight star in this league? An all-star, considered an all-star. And as you said yesterday, when you're an all-star, you are an all-star no matter what. But currently, I think he's fighting for his place in the NBA.
Yeah. He's still trying to prove how good he is. Maybe it's because I always thought he's a pretty good player, but never as good as people thought he was. This says, Michael Pena says, he still has a lot to prove. Not to me, he doesn't, but I get it. Good for him if he feels that way.
I guess to solidify it, maybe kind of lock down his, his candidacy as we move forward for Basketball Hall of Fame, and
obviously the Phoenix episode left a bad taste in a lot of mouths.
Yeah,
it depends how bad the taste in his mouth is, as far as how much pressure's on him now. When we come back, if this writer is right, the faithful are going to have fun this season. And another peek at that brand new schedule next as we wrap things up on Sacktown Sports.
The 49ers play here. Saturday preseason action continues. It's the 49ers taking on the Raiders. Pre-game at noon with kickoff at 1.
Your exclusive home for 49ers football.
Is Sacktown Sports 1140.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Fidium Fiber.
I'm meteorologist Heather Waldman in the KCRA3 Weather Center. Warm day ahead for Friday. Morning temperatures will be near 60 degrees, but there won't be much of a breeze through mid-afternoon, so highs will climb into the mid-90s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA News and the KCRA app.
It's about time they
fixed that pothole.
Invented better windshield wipers.
Made an internet that just works. Fidium Fiber Internet, starting at only $30 a month. It feels like Fidium. Offer available to residential customers only. Terms and conditions apply. See Fidium.com for details.
Alan Stiles here with your Sacktown Sports Injury Update, brought to you by DTLA Law Group. Max Muncy, out with that right hand fracture, has started to perform baseball activities, but still nothing as of early August. His expected return is late August. Jacob Wilson, out with that left forearm fracture, has begun playing catch and running. The hope is for him to return sometime in September. That was your Sacktown Sports Injury Update, brought to you by DTLA Law Group. Hey, I'm Alan Stiles. Injured at work? Call downtown. DTLA Law Group, California's leading injury law firm. With over 40 lawyers throughout California, they have won over $500 million in settlements. DTLA Law Group will get you compensation for your work injury. You don't pay unless they win. That's right. You pay zero up front. Call downtown. Text injury help to 40222. That's injury help to 40222. Visit them at calldowntown.com. Text charges may apply.
Capital Casino, conveniently located on 411th North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento.
High voltage live boxing action returns to the venue on September 6th as Uppercut Promotions presents Thunder Showdown with 6 big fights on the bill, featuring local lightweight standout Kyle Lockenlally, who enters the ring undefeated. And don't miss a big heavyweight showdown with Chinese heavyweight Junglong Singh and Sacktown's own Vikas Diaw. Thunder Showdown, coming September 6th to the venue at Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Tickets available at Ticketmaster. Fight card subject to change.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with the Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Let's go! You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Labor Day, our annual celebration of workers and their achievements, was first observed in New York, and the first Monday in September became a national holiday in 1894. Hi, this is Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. Each year we commemorate Labor Day with parades, picnics, and family gatherings. And right now, Naturewood Home Furnishings is celebrating with their exceptional whole store Labor Day sale. Would you like to refresh your living room? Would you like to restyle your bedroom? Maybe you want to redesign your home office. No matter whether it's your dining room, kids' rooms, accents, or accessories, Naturewood's unique store-wide Labor Day sale offers savings in every department and savings on every brand like Stanton, Omnia, Stickley, Flex Steel, and all the rest of the award-winning furniture. When it comes right down to it, it's all about choices and always about quality. Visit Naturewood Home Furnishings right now for this remarkable Labor Day sale. Off Highway 50 at Hazel, look for the water wheel.
Six of those games are in Sacramento.
G1C?
Yeah, I don't think that's a coincidence. The NBA realizes it's really good for our brand to show people around the country what it looks like in there in Sacramento, because those fans do it right.
Yeah, best fan group, best fan experience, and on top of that, solid. The G1C is one of the better arenas in the league, if not the best. So absolutely, it's just, can't lose situation, baby. Absolutely.
When we talk about stadiums these days, especially some of the more modern ones, take, for example, Levi's. I know we were talking about this yesterday. One of the things that sometimes comes up is, the atmosphere. It doesn't have much atmosphere. G1C, I know it's a lot different than Arco 2, which was really loud, but G1C has so much character for a new building, just with the hangar doors, and compare it to Chase, which is a beautiful building. The problem with Chase is all the stuff that's cool is outside of the building. It's right there on the water, but when you're watching basketball, so what?
Yeah.
And what do you call it? The dentist
office? The dental office.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. DDS, baby.
Yeah. We're a little biased, but if you're being objective, no one would ever call G1C the dentist office.
No, hell no. You'd be out your mind if you did.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. It's the problem for me with Chase is there are plenty of spots in the corridors on the main concourse that you can't see the game. And it's like the Intuit Dome. You haven't had the opportunity to go there yet, right?
Right.
But they push everything inside. The Intuit Dome, I understand why, because they got a tremendous screen and tech savvy and all that type of stuff. I just ain't feeling it. The way the Chase is cut feels funny,
You ever gotten lost in Chase?
No, I don't think so. No.
I'm telling you, they're going to find rooms and there's a bunch of skeletons in there, because you can get back. There's like, how do I get out of here? Where am I?
Yeah.
It's a nice arena. It's very nice.
Yeah.
It's a really nice arena. And hopefully it's going to get nicer as they continue to fill in around it. But G1C laps it.
Oh, without doubt, man. G1C is tech savvy. It's, farm to fork. Shouts out to Mike Testa. He would kill me if I didn't say it as much as I talk about City of Trees. The delicatessens that's over there at the G1C is through the roof. It's just a great place to watch basketball. The concourses are nice and wide. You never just feel like you just packed in as a sardine. I know
got pretty bad in the old building.
Yeah. Elbow, you had to get your ludicrous on. Tell people to get out the way. If there's a drawback for the G1C, it's the steepness of the upper deck
was a big issue early on.
Yeah, and again, I've never been up there minus. I told the story, took my daughter and her kid and her friends to a monster truck thing, and I went up there for 5 minutes. I said, oh, no way, we're coming back down. So I've never actually sat up there for anything. But the other part too, and I get this from a few people, is the seats are just so tight together. It's like, oh man, they're right on my knees. And I've gotten that from, some tall folk and bigger people.
Are you a no cup holder complaint guy? There's no cup holders up there because there's nowhere to.
There's no cup holders at the top?
I don't believe there is because you don't have room for them.
I had no clue.
Oh yeah. That's going way back. I think that was one of the early.
That was one of the issues, huh? It sounds familiar.
Yeah.
And we still ain't adding no cup holders.
I found somebody that makes this thing where you have your drink and it's got a tray on top of it that you put the food in with a straw that goes all the way down into the drink. So you don't need a cup holder. And I tried to get him connected with G1C years ago, but it didn't go anywhere.
Who'd you reach out to?
I don't remember.
Can we revisit it?
I have to see if they're still making those.
Okay. Well, of course they still are.
I don't even remember what they call them, but I'll find it for you.
Yeah, we might need to. We might need to get that to the proper people. I did not know that wasn't figured out.
Yeah, there's just not room.
Yeah, it's just too tight up there.
You could put it underneath you, I guess. That's only, or hold it. That's about it.
Man, I'm sounding spoiled because I've never been up there.
If you put one like on the seat in front of you,
yeah,
people can't get by.
Can't get by you.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
So it's literally, you in there like a two-seater.
Not a lot of room to spare.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not like you're like, I can't breathe, but there's just not a lot of extra
I got
room.
you. Okay.
Yeah. From the 5-3-0. Kings are going to start out 3-0 and then ride that high. From Dennis in Stockton. I think it could be a good thing to get all this gauntlet of tough teams out of the way. Kind of how I plan my work every day. Get the hard stuff out of the way first. That way you coast down the stretch. I'm hoping that's how it plays out. Dennis in Stockton.
Shouts out to Dennis. That's right, Dennis. You're right. 100% right. 100% right. What have we been talking about?
That's right.
I like where Dennis is going.
Yeah.
Shouts out to Dennis.
You're going to have your dinner before your dessert.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think I've said this to you before. I eat my vegetables first all the time. I get it out the way.
I do that too.
Yeah. Okay, now let's get to the real deal.
I do that too.
So get the vegetables out of the way so you can get to the real part of the portion. That's right, Dennis. You're right. You're right, baby.
I do the exact same thing.
Yeah, I'm taking all Brussels sprouts, broccoli, green beans. I'm knocking all that down first.
Yeah, and then you get that out of the way, and it's like, okay, now I can enjoy it.
Absolutely. You're 100% right.
Well, we'll have lots of conversation in the days and weeks to come about this schedule.
Drake said he'll jump on tomorrow.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. I text him. He's moving and grooving, and you know how he is.
Yeah. Daunting start for the Kings, or so it would appear. You never know about these schedules and strength of schedule, and that's a tough game, and you never know who's available at that point or how teams are playing. The Kings do have an opportunity to play some good basketball down the stretch. So you hold your own, you get through that trade deadline, and then time to make that push, that playoff push that they're going to have to make if they're going to win, as TC predicts. 49 games, Jay.
49 games.
Wins.
Scratching on the door of 50. Half of a century mark. I could dig it. Shouts out to Dennis for uplifting my spirits at the end of the show, because he's 100% right. It's been in front of us all day.
Yeah.
Get it out the way. Get the tough, hard work out the way. Get your lunch pail out. And then after that, just put your feet up and coast. I like that.
Yeah, back with you tomorrow. We'll wrap up the week with you tomorrow. Stick around, because golf to go, 4 left. Coming up next, Frank LaRosa, Scott Marsh next on Sacktown Sports.